There you go. It's like you should just every time I look away, you should get closer. You're like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's true. The one, the only, the Malventano. And was it? Can I do this as well if I go? I'm not on yet. And LordChunky. You want to show the accident? Let's see the accident. See the accident. Here we go. Check it out. Ooh. See? That's a man who doesn't just live in the virtual world. He lives. Oh, seriously? Is he like picking gravel out of it now? Is that the deal? Ugh! God, Alan's back.
And ran ahead of me diagonally and cut me off.
I think I know how this is going to end.
I clipped, my wheel clipped him.
Yeah.
And the bike just went that way. And I kept going straight, conservation of momentum and all. And yeah, my leg looked like that. It took out my shoulder. Like I was just missing skin everywhere.
I fell asleep on a motorcycle while I was driving it.
Oh, did you end up like him?
No, I actually saved it. I was driving home. It was really, really late. And there was this weird noise in my dream. Like literally, I was like, that kind of like,
you should wake up.
And it was like this. And it was the sound of the side of my bike rubbing against the.
We need to fix this, David.
Rubbing against the. No, it's supposed to do that.
Yeah, we need to fix it.
It does this. Look.
I know.
It does that.
We need to like.
There's nothing to fix. It's got to be creative.
We need to pneumatic it.
I just stuck it on. Well, I've got the pneumatics.
No.
Yeah. Alan's shown up and wants to fix everything. It makes me. It's
you gotta fix that.
Constantly. First the stove. Now the little pieces of Stargate.
Things broken.
There's lots of. It's all about broken.
Fix the broken.
There's nothing that isn't broken here, Alan. You'll drive yourself nuts. There's there's a wheelchair there too.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things to fix.
I didn't think you'd have a David do list.
Oh, there's not. I have a do list. I have a David do list, and it's like
I mean, for me,
it's multiple pages of things that I'm like I should do that.
So here's the thing. I'm taking notes, so next time I'm going to show up with tools.
Yeah, great. He's got his little tiny. It's got to say it's the cutest soldering iron I've ever seen. Except that I'm the kind of guy who like leave it on by accident in the hotel room.
No, because if it doesn't sense motion for more than 20 seconds, it turns off.
Really?
Yes.
Man, I wish the one downstairs did. Often I'll come up. I'm in the kitchen in the morning and I come down for coffee. And like, God, it smells like solder. Oh God! And I run downstairs and it's like blowing hot air out of its whatever. All right, you need me on Discord, don't you? It's like don't switch that.
It's just a DC power supply.
Oh, it's great.
I'm wondering what he uses it for.
Well, I use it. So in this case, I used it for. What did I use it for? I was powering something. I was powering my Arduinos, and then I was powering this board here for the to control the wheelchair. There's a
How do you end up with something like that?
There's a saber tooth. Someone was giving it away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like now, admittedly, she was giving it away while her dad was away. Maybe a little nervous. She's like, yeah, my dad never uses it, and so I just thought I'd get rid of it while he was away. I'm like, well, if he needs it again, let me know in the next week before I take it apart. So Baz and I took it home on the subway, and
you took that on the subway.
We didn't have a car.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah. No. So we had to. It wasn't really charged. So so I wheeled Baz in the chair on the subway, and I'll tell you, it was an eye opener. But it was an eye opener because you can't get anywhere on the subway. You have to go to special stops. To get off and on and stuff. Like we suck, generally. Us able-bodied folks we suck. All right, Wolf Pup. I didn't know they were actually with you. I know. It's a nightmare. But they all showed up just around the time I was making sandwiches. It's weird that way. Okay, so let me get on Discord.
Are you on the Discord?
No, I haven't started the Discord yet. Yeah, I'm not that organized. You should know this by now, shouldn't you? Isn't that like?
I know.
Which one is it? Is it that one or this one? I never.
See,
it's that one. There you go. Got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, who we got in here?
Thank you for like.
Aw, little Ham's there too.
Hello?
Ham's there. Vi Pup's there, and you were there, and you were there. How are you, Vi Pup?
I'm good. The box still hasn't come yet.
What? There's no
but
box yet?
It's getting close.
Could you imagine Could you imagine if Mark
ran out of
Rober was
stock.
like a rip-off artist? In fact, he was just ripping people off.
It's ran out of stock.
Oh, really? So wait a sec. So
Yeah.
they took our money and then they ran out of stock. What?
You bought one of the
Mark Rober boxes.
Mark Rober boxes?
We got Wolf Pup signed up for 6 months of Vi Pups. Of Vi Pup. of Mark Rober's stuff. Yeah. Thanks to Techbandit money, I'll have you know. Meanwhile, LordChunky was flinging himself off a bicycle. I thought we talked about a bunch of stuff.
Overclocking recently, and I think.
Did you?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple world records, probably because not many people have my stuff.
What? Say what? Wait a second, let me get the camera right.
Yeah. So I've been doing like a lot of.
Because he's interesting.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know.
A lot of 3D marks. I was doing. I think I have a world record in like 3D mark Fire Strike Extreme.
How do we look this up? Is there a way to look it up?
Oh, the sad thing is, I have some world records on my laptop that actually show there.
Yeah.
But most of the ones
They didn't sync.
They didn't sync because I just got the thing yesterday and I forgot to update the system info scanner thing. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
it's validated, but it's out of date, so it won't show up on a leaderboard.
Oh.
Do another run.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do tonight.
So where do these show up? Just so like.
It's 3dmark.com, I think.
3dmark.com.
Dad, turn up the gain on your microphone, and we may actually be able to hear other people.
Oh, you can't hear everyone else?
No, I hear Chunky
was-
very quietly.
Chunky very quietly. Yeah.
Is there any like gain knob or something on that?
There's not a. I don't think there's a choice of how to. This one is designed specifically for. Oh, there, look at that. What's that? Do I want the overlapping or the non-overlapping?
Probably if we're all
Probably
around,
overlapping.
probably non-overlapping.
Or non-overlapping? Is that better?
Directional.
How does that sound when everyone talks?
Oh boy.
I'm probably just gonna like sit closer. That seems like a better idea.
It's getting creepier and creepier.
Yeah.
Is anyone talking besides you?
What do you mean? Is anyone talking besides
Yeah, I
me?
think
I'm
you put it on
talking.
direct.
Because I don't hear anyone.
You don't hear anybody now.
I hear you,
But you don't hear me.
but I don't hear like
All right, try
Chunky's
that. How's
very
that?
hard to hear now.
How about now?
Do you hear us now?
I hear Alan.
Oh, wait a second. Are you hearing us? Yeah. Okay. You hear Alan. How about LordChunky?
What about me?
Yeah, Dad, at the bottom of your mic, there's like circles.
Yep.
Circle.
I'm maxed. Maxed out.
You're
baby.
maxed in the circles.
Maxed circles.
You're all the way swiped to the left.
All
Like
the way
it's
swiped
all
to
the
the
way
Is
left.
this better?
To the left.
Yeah.
Or is this better?
I can up my microphone a bit. How's that? Is
What
that gonna help?
the hell? Now you're very quiet.
How's that? Is that gonna work?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, they're hearable now, but it's not the best.
They're hearable now, but it's not the
Fine,
best.
we'll get closer.
Baz is not happy with the way this
We're
has
gonna
turned
keep
out.
getting closer.
What if I just do like if I raised it up like if I did this? Would that help?
I think it's just like the distance to the
You need it in
mic.
the right mode.
In the dist. How's that?
Just make it worse.
How's that? How's that for everybody? You should talk.
Hi.
Hello?
How does that sound for everyone? Can you hear what everyone's saying? Dear chat.
It's all right.
Ah,
The voice of doom. The voice of doom says it's all right. All right, I'll keep it back
mediocre.
then. I'll keep it down there. What's good? Mediocre is all we need. That's all we're striving for here. We're not striving for good, just good enough.
mediocre.
Okay. Mozart, how does it sound? Everyone else is still very quiet. Yeah. Why did I change out mics? I've got the what's it? No. Let me try a different setting. Let me try a different setting.
What are the pictures?
You have one that's like.
Let's try that one.
Oh.
Or no, all around maybe? Is that
Yeah,
better?
that's
Let's
Omni.
try that one.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to Omni-Man.
There you
Ooh,
go.
Omni-Man. How's
Is
that?
that any better?
Better? How's that? Not too quiet though. Not too quiet, but they are quiet.
Now
Okay.
everyone sounds very similar,
Now
but
everyone
they're
sounds
all
the same?
quiet.
Much
Well,
better.
Now
what I
everyone's
want.
quiet.
That's fine.
Well, they can turn it.
But
up
me
again.
too? I'll turn up the
You're
gain.
less than before.
I'm less than before. Well, that's good. So you hear everybody about the same then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's good.
it's the same as like everyone's whispering far away from me.
Oh, great.
Oh, great. Not much different. Not too quiet though. Hello everyone. Anna Kang. See, I'm trying to get everybody on mic, which just apparently sucks.
Yeah,
Um, all right. So what else can we do? Can you do two mics?
I mean, yeah, that would be terrible.
You wanna
if
try to-
everyone, like.
You want to try doing
It's hard to set up two mics with the.
Hey Baz, would you mind bringing down the other mic? It's in my bedroom.
Can't set up two mics with with OBS.
You can't set up two mics? You can't do it.
It's not how it works.
Really?
Like you may be able to, but it would take extreme. You probably
we
should have
could
thought this
do-
out a little bit more before you started
Oh,
doing
I should have
this.
thought it out more, should I? Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Wait a second. Let me try this. What if I add... Can I add the Razer KO as well? Would that work?
Probably not.
How's that? Oh, no, you don't have a choice of getting... You don't get the multiple. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I wonder if it'll let me do that, though. Properties. Can I add another one? Speakers 2. Microphone 2. But not a lot of them, huh? I don't get multiple... I guess I guess it's confused by multiple USBs. I feel like it should come through though. All right, the Razer Keo, it says that there should be something there. Let me try this. Let me just try a little something here. A little something. Okay, audio monitoring off. Yeah, we don't want that. Speakers, microphone. I don't have the Razer. Yeah, the Razer's here. So why isn't that showing up?
Where's the razor?
Right here.
Oh, I mean, physically.
Right there.
Oh.
Yeah. I just wondered if we'd be able to add a track to it. It seems to want to allow me to do the Logitech. I could try that one instead. If I do that, and do
The webcam mic might have like better range.
yeah, we're hearing. Well, that's the webcam over there, so we should grab that.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
grab that
that's
and
a
put it
little
over.
far away.
It's so weird though. The Razer doesn't want to let me do won't let me do that. All right, how does that sound? Suspicious user monitor by what?
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
I'm
They
tapping
do.
on it.
They do. You're not getting it 'cause it's in the,
I
it's
am
in the
there.
stream. Oh, you in the Discord or in the?
I'm in the Discord.
Yeah, it's not gonna come through the Discord. It's only gonna come through the stream.
Oh, okay.
But we can try that. Yeah, so let's put 2 cameras up here. Nice.
There
In
we
fact, we
go.
can have one on. Wait a second. We can have one on Alan
Oh, great.
and one on you.
Now you're
That's
really
perfect.
crossing the stream.
Here we go. There's one.
Now it's just 2 on me.
And now that, even better. How about, and then what if we do, here we go, this is good. Do this one there, and then that one points over there like this. How's that? Huh? Come on, that's not bad. That's like, isn't that kind of weird and freaky?
But
How
how,
do
does
I-
it sound?
okay,
That's
see-
the real question.
Oh yeah, well there's the sound thing,
I'm
right?
sure the quality like
Here we
kind of
go.
sucks.
Oh shit. Alright, can you hear everybody now? Sounds a lot better. Look at that.
That's it. Oh.
It sounds
great.
better and funny.
And I'm
Funny.
Sure it sounds like.
Funny's the most
I
important
mean,
part.
webcam mics aren't.
I look like, it looks like Alan is,
aren't that bad.
it's like Alan's growing out of my shoulder.
Well,
It's kinda
actually,
neat.
like Maz helped me steal one of those
This?
from you.
Yeah, you've already got one of mine, don't you?
Yeah, I stole one.
Why do you
I think I have, like,
is it
06
better if I go
or
that way? Is that better? How's that?
Might
It's
be
like half of my
devil
face.
on David's shoulder.
And then if I go the other way this way, then I get half my other face.
Oh.
Half my other face? I got a lot of faces. Apparently I've got a lot of faces. I'm very two-faced. There you go. How's that? What do you think? It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And we can see all of the stuff that Alan brought. Can anyone tell me what medications he's on?
Well,
We're about to find out. All right, so let's talk. There is an echo, no? Oh, crap.
because you have 2 mics on.
I know.
Of course,
Well,
it's
turn off the other mics.
But that's the one that makes me sound sexy. All right, let's try that. We'll do. Okay, so this is our sound now. The upper cam is a bit dark. Oh, buzz off. Here you go. Try this. I tell you what. If I turn this off, is that better now? Not at all.
No.
The upper, okay. Does anyone else want anything?
More
Someone?
light would make it better.
Yeah. Let me try this. Okay, watch this. Watch this.
Oh
Watch
my
this.
goodness.
So if I do this and I go to Logitech and I open this up, I think I can. Can I configure the video? I think I can.
Oh, should we get my phone camera in here too?
Oh, even better. Yeah,
Even
yeah. If you
more
could do that, that'd be
cameras.
perfect. Yeah, ideal. Configuring the video. Oh, is it doing a little weird thing again? Okay, let's see if we can up the contrast. No, up the brightness. Here we go. Watch this.
That
Oh,
just terrible. Now.
yeah, that's way better.
That's so
No.
much
Oh, I
worse.
feel so much better about everything. What about the saturation, sharpness, white balance?
Exposure.
Oh, you
Exposure?
should
Where's the
check, like,
exposure?
yeah, up the sharpness.
Oh, it's on the camera. It's on the camera. There you go. Oh, auto exposure.
This
Screw
would be like
that.
a 20 cam.
Focus.
Daniel-san.
I guess that's. Let's see what happens if we. Let's see if we exposure it up a bit. Oh, oh, look at that. That's not bad. That looks
Great.
looks kind of cool.
But it's a low frame rate.
I mean,
Yeah. Why is it such a
Well,
low
it's a
floor?
terrible frame rate.
Because you have
Yeah.
the exposure.
Let's go. Does that makes it that much more of a problem?
Well, you went too far to the right.
I kind of like that. Yeah,
Oh,
but then,
right.
but now it's not too.
But like it's like 3 FPS now. It's not very good.
I just want to say nobody can really see you now unless you're leaned.
Oh, really? No one can see me unless I'm leaned. Perfect. Perfect. All right, how's that?
Oh yeah, because the bottom.
I
you
can
see
just
the
put a
bottom
light
left
on
of
you.
that camera.
I
is
should just
being
shine a light on
bright.
you is what I should do. But all right, that's fine.
No,
Get a
the
mirror.
phone
That's good
flashlight,
enough.
there we go.
That's good enough. I'm in a weird mirror
There
zone.
we
It's
go.
true.
So much better.
I like the little heads. I like my little eyes above the other one. I like this one. Oh my god, I drop those things all the time.
I hold it in my hands and I forget I'm holding it.
I keep finding them. I found an app that you can walk around looking for lost earbuds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks for the Bluetooth signal. It's pretty neat. All right, if I go in here, there we go.
You
It's
can
a
go,
little
like,
bit more.
downtown, just go, like AirPod hunting.
Do
Exactly.
you get to keep them?
Well, no, I
You
usually
steal them right out of people's ears.
no, I usually just we have like there's a group in our like a neighborhood group that we have, and I'll like email out to everyone and say like, okay, has anyone lost anything? What is this suspicious user monitored? What does this mean? This sounds cool. What is this? So, of course, I'm going to read what they say.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do.
I run it. It's kind of creepy.
Is it? Oh, that's what we got. So, if I ask unauthorized questions of my church cult enslavers, I will be beaten up and have my life taken away until I comply with their militarized church state of lobotomy that uses drugs and alcohol to poison the inner minds of children.
Probably not worth reading.
I mean, it was just read.
It's kind of a nice. It's kind of nice though. Why is it? Whenever I read the word lobotomy, I think I love lobster. Isn't that weird? Yeah. Okay, so that's odd. So 990. I think we've had 990 in before, haven't we?
Maybe.
With some pretty funky weird stuff. All right. Wait a dang minute. Is that LordChunky? He isn't chunky at all. I know.
I'm not chunky.
I'm more chunky than anyone of everyone here. I should be LordChunky. But why did you call yourself LordChunky?
That's a good question.
He used to be huge. No, you were never big. You were always like a waif-like thing, a tiny thing, a wee lad.
Exactly. A wee lad.
He's
But
big.
you
on
don't know
the
where
internets.
LordChunky came from? It's kind of
It
fun.
was just random.
All right. Well, the reason why we have LordChunky here is because oh my God, lots of suspicious. Oh, and it's all 990. Okay. Is Cal here? Cal. Cal. Ironham just subscribed. That was very good of him. I don't know why. What do you want, buddy? So what I thought we'd talk about today is some of the latest PC developments. And Alan sort of has his finger on the pulse almost as much as LordChunky does. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to get them together and then not understand most of the things that they're talking about.
LordChunky's gonna show me up.
Is exactly. Bag of chips, yay! So all I know recently is that I've heard that there's these new 40 series NVIDIA chips. NVIDIA cards coming out, but I have no idea what the cost like. I have no idea how they measure up to the 3080s and all that kind of stuff.
No one really does.
No, really? So it's still sort of like vaporware type thing.
No, they know some stuff. Some stuff's
There's
leaked
like
out.
some stuff that's known, but like.
But you're at Intel. Do you get like Do you get early stuff?
No, not for that.
Oh, really? There's not. Come on. There's got to be some like Intel spies in there going like, "Oh, here I am, just working at NVIDIA," and then
You get it when everybody else can buy it. That's when we buy it.
So when it drops, you guys will immediately grab it and go like, "Okay, how do we make this work with all of our stuff?"
Well, okay, so there's different groups inside Intel that are like checking for compatibility and stuff.
Right.
But those guys are isolated from the other groups.
Really?
Yeah, so the people that are working on graphics, they're not allowed to like see the other thing early.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So, how is that enforced?
I mean, just don't let that happen.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Really? I'm just gonna check. I'm gonna check our volume because I want to just make sure. I realize I could probably listen to myself and see what it sounds like. Because I want to make sure that everyone's getting these golden drops of PC goodness.
Oh yes. So great.
All right, here you go. Everyone's gonna get an echo for a second, so don't all tell me you've got an echo.
I forget what the
All right, here you go. Everyone's gonna get an echo for a
like
second.
the 4090 is supposed to have a pretty decent amount of power draw.
Oh yeah, I think it's like almost 500 watts now.
Yeah, something like
It's like
500.
450 or something. Oh yeah, I think it's like. And then there's
Oh.
also supposed to be like
It's a bit low.
That's apparently the transit spikes supposed to be even worse. So like.
Oh, that was the Gamers Nexus thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll just like spike up like.
I think I can even go a little bit higher.
I know Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Do you think I can go over 100?
Tech Jesus.
Exactly.
Yes.
Tech Jesus. Yeah.
Tech Jesus. With the locks of hair.
Flowing
Flowing locks.
Is he the guy he's a big Linux guy too, isn't he?
No.
He's not.
That's Wendell.
Oh, is it Wendell? I get so confused. There's so many of these like amazing Jesus-looking nerds out there that I can't keep track of. You know, like Alan.
Who?
Like Alan's
That
long
robot
flow.
back there, that's
Alan's
Alan.
long flowing locks, or yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you'll get so basically you're in the same boat as everyone else, where you just get the stuff when the stuff's available.
Yeah.
So basically you're in the same boat as everyone else. So you've got to learn stuff that a part of Intel already knows.
Sure.
So you've got to really learn
Yeah.
stuff that just because they're not allowed to tell you.
Right.
Because I'm sure Nvidia wouldn't give them stuff early if they knew it was just
Just
going
because
to
they're not
go
allowed to
to
tell you.
people developing Intel GPUs.
Yeah. Like there's just
But and is the shirt you're wearing, is that common knowledge now?
Intel Arc.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Exists.
Intel Arc exists. Okay, great. Okay.
otherwise I wouldn't be wearing the jacket.
But are those the only Intel I mean, yeah, because I wear the wrong thing all the time. Constantly like, congratulations on whatever just happened on that show that's on your T-shirt. I'm like, what? Congratulations on whatever just happened on that show that's on your T-shirt. So Intel is now making graphics cards. Do you think the goal? Do you think eventually they'll get into like the high-end stuff as well?
I don't know if they'll get that high.
Do you think the goal? Do you think eventually?
I mean, I'm sure that's somewhere on a goal somewhere or something.
Who else makes? So who makes graphics cards now? It's AMD.
AMD, Nvidia, and now Intel.
Who else? And now, so those are the only people making them right now.
I mean, there's other people that make like graphics, like stuff, but like in terms of like high-end graphics, it's just those.
Yeah, like commodity graphics cards.
Okay, so nothing like, but nothing sort of groundbreaking.
There'll be some specialized thing, like somebody will make a special graphics card designed to drive like a video wall or something. Like there'll be some niche.
Ooh, I wanted a video wall.
Well, you know.
I've always wanted a video wall. Wouldn't it be cool just to have like a total?
The house and the video wall.
That's true.
But those aren't meant for like gaming. Right?
But I have to sell the house and get a Tesla now. We had a whole discussion about Tesla last night, and
You could rent out the garage before the Tesla.
that's
and
true.
have nowhere to park the Tesla.
I got to charge your dad a lot more for parking that bike in order to get a Tesla. The Tesla sounds kind of amazing, but anyways, that's not the point. So PCs. So PCs, we've got the new 40 series. What do we know about the new 40 series things coming out? PCs, we've got the new 40 series. What do we know?
There's a lot of rumors.
And it literally is just rumors still right now.
I mean, it's probably getting to the point where
Like somewhat
literally is just
Yeah.
40 series. And then they called 40 series. Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's pretty serious.
I got in trouble for saying M3 about the car.
about the car.
Okay.
That's BMW.
So this is the. I know.
I did.
Okay.
Sorry
Hey!
to butt in.
So this is.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
There is a massive echo on stream.
Oh shoot!
Just had to butt in to tell you.
Oh, I forgot to turn
The
off
chat was
my.
like echo.
I forgot to turn off my monitor.
And then you forgot to read the
Oh, I
chat.
forgot to turn off my. There you
I'll
go.
leave you.
Nothing?
be.
He sucks at streaming.
Thank you so much, James.
You could say, you could.
James saving the day.
I'm in the wood shop. I'm turning wood bowls. So.
Oh, all right.
I can't talk right now. I'm turning wood bowls. Thank you so
Awesome.
much, James.
Fun.
All right, David's
James
starting to
has-
understand me
James
with
has-
echo.
James has bowls of wood.
He does. It's true, and he's carving them right now. Have you seen the stuff he's done?
I've seen a couple of things.
Oh my God, it's like incredible. The guy does everything. Yeah. Okay, so the 40 series stuff. Now that I've got rid of the echo, I think. Allow. Yeah,
What
whatever.
is all that? Says you just
Okay.
David just says okay to anything that pops
It's-
up on his computer.
Don't tell them that. Okay, is that it? That's not it.
That's not it.
That's
No.
like a that's a
That's the
That's
9.
the 30
That's the
series,
30 series, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and that's not
Who
it either.
knows?
That's a
It looks
barbecue. Okay, so so what does it say? It says that it's got FP30. Okay, explain FP32 CUDA cores to me.
Those are like the main rasterization cores. I'm pretty sure. Is that right? Like
They do
ones
the-
that
they do
like,
the regular-
normal computing, that kind
they
of
do the
stuff.
regular graphics related
Yeah.
work.
Okay.
And then like they have like the tensor cores and stuff that do their AI, deep learning, whatever.
Right.
voodoo.
I have a little tensor. What are they called?
The cool ones.
a
And then there's-
coral?
And then there's RT cores.
Um,
Those are RT cores.
and the RT is the ray tracing cores.
Yep.
So so basically our GPUs have got to a point now where we have specialized chips on each GPU or portions of the GPU.
Yeah.
They're all like within like the GP, like this main core.
So the actual
It's the same chip.
okay,
Same
all right,
chip, single
okay.
chip.
Um,
There's certain things like Ryzen that have like multiple chiplets on them. Which is interesting.
chiplets, I like the chiplets.
Like on
That's-
a regular CPU, you have one section of it is designed for like floating point math. Another section of it's doing integer.
Right.
Like there's different sections of a CPU core, for example, that can do different things. So same kind of thing for a GPU.
Right. Except that they've got many.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of little ones.
Right. Because I feel like the GPUs are. I feel like I'm spending more on a GPU now than I am on a CPU,
Yes.
Yeah.
which
Should
just
be.
never used to be the
If
case.
you're
Right?
budgeting it right, you should be spending a lot more on your GPU.
Really?
I mean, if you want to be on the bleeding edge on the CPU side too, there are options. You can spend like thousands of dollars on a
Yeah.
CPU.
But
Right.
in terms of gaming, the highest you can really go right now is like 800 with the 12900 KS.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get more expensive than that in terms of gaming CPUs.
Unless you're Alan.
Well, because for most gaming workloads, you don't need like a data center style CPU. And in fact, sometimes that's the wrong way to go, because when you try to make a CPU that has that many cores, then the maximum frequency of any one of them ends up being lower. So it's better to go for slightly fewer cores, like just enough for gaming and stuff like that, right? Whereas since you have fewer of them, they can go faster.
And the chips. I mean, sorry. Are the games designed now to work with the GPUs?
What?
Well, I mean, are they designed? Are they coded? But are they coded in a way that takes advantage? Like, I just don't understand how they keep up with all of the because the hardware's coming out all the time.
Oh right, okay. So like when the ray tracing stuff was introduced.
Yeah. There was only some.
There was only
Yeah,
a few
there's only a
games.
few games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now it's like becoming like more and more.
Yeah, and then
common.
over time, it gets adapted and more
Right.
people come on board. Yeah.
And then
Right.
like I'm sure in like 5 years every game's gonna have ray tracing built in.
Unless you're just trying to make a really simple game and it just didn't need ray tracing stuff.
The ray tracing looks beautiful, but it seems to slow things down quite a bit.
Well,
It's
it
getting
depends.
better.
Yeah, it's gotten better.
But can you play you can't? No one's doing competitive gaming with ray tracing on.
Well, no, because there's just no point. And
It's
it's
for-
competitive
yeah.
games don't have ray tracing.
Yeah, the ray tracing stuff's more for the eye candy.
Right. That's
Right.
what I like. I like the eye candy.
If you're doing actual competitive like first person shooter,
Like competitive people, they have all their settings on low just so they can get like.
yeah, they want the refresh rate to be so high that as the display is updating from top to bottom, they want multiple frames to update as it's scanning. Because they want the best chance of seeing the most recent update of if somebody's running across the screen that they're trying to shoot at.
Right.
Right?
Oh,
They
yeah,
want it to
stuff
be
around that.
most up to date.
Isn't that weird? The way it's like now, it's the way it's got it.
So yeah, they'll those guys are like the professional guys. They'll be running their game at like 400, 500 frames per second.
Huh.
So as high as it can get.
Yeah, high as you can possibly get. And the display will be like 240 hertz for fresh. Everything is as
Russell,
fast as possible.
Some are 500 now.
Seriously?
Yeah, Asus made a 500 one, but
Jesus.
like, I don't know. It has other sacrifices. I just wouldn't want something like that.
Yeah, the quality
Uh-huh.
the quality of the colors and stuff starts to go south when you try to
Because it's
update
trying to
it.
be so
Yeah.
fast that
Yeah,
Well,
it's
'cause it's
gonna...
also like it's a TN panel. They have like a fancy name for it, but it's just like a super TN.
Yeah,
panel.
TN panels have a faster update time. The pixels can flip faster, but the counter there's cons, which is like the
They're not as
contrast
vibrant
ratio
color.
is not as good, and the darks aren't as nice, and it looks a little pasty, that sort of thing.
At what point does it make a difference? Because I mean, I feel like we're in like a pay-to-play kind of situation where if you can afford the nice tech, then you're going to play better than people who aren't.
There's gonna be diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Right.
Once you get past like 144, it's pretty much like the sweet spot. Like 60
Yeah.
to 144 hertz is a massive difference.
Mm.
But then past that, it's like you're getting maybe an extra few milliseconds at most of response time.
Yeah.
So you are literally seeing things slightly faster than someone who's got a slower
Oh
monitor.
yeah, it's night and day.
Yes.
If you were sitting in a 144 hertz panel here,
Mm.
just moving the mouse around, you immediately
Oh,
notice
yeah.
it because the mouse cursor is
I can't do
more
60
fluid.
anymore. I have like
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I move to higher refresh monitors, and if
Mm.
I sit at a 60 hertz one, it kind of like bothers me now.
I
it's even
love
just
it
like moving a window.
because I do everything at a snail's pace anyway, so it's perfect for my.
David operates more slowly.
I'm the old school. I've got like a walker on my monitor that just
On your mouse?
allows me to
Mouse has a little
that's right.
walker.
My mouse has a little walker. Oh, yeah. All right, let me check the chat, see what's going on here. If I missed anything, I have a Ryzen 7 4800H with NVIDIA RTX 2060 laptop, and that generally does the majority of what I want with games.
Oh, so
That's pretty
mine
nice.
was a 1500X 3D.
What's a 3D?
Oh, it's had like cache stacked on top of it. So
Yeah, the
it
3D
has, like,
cache.
I think 96 megabytes of cache or something.
You ever
That's-
seen the inside of a GPU, David?
Crazy.
I've not.
Like taken apart?
No.
So there's usually
Did we take one apart on in Techbandits at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, we had a bunch of stuff, but
so there's usually the GPU, the processor itself is in the middle,
Mm.
right? And then they'll put some memory around it.
Yeah, the VRAM all around.
They're like VRAM, just memory chips.
Right.
Like if you have a stick of memory that usually has the little memory chips on it.
Right.
Well, they don't have sticks of memory on the graphics card. It's just right on the board.
Right. Just solder right to the board.
Yeah. But you have to travel a few inches to get there.
Right.
So there's limits to how fast you can talk to that memory.
Huh.
Right. Just
So
with
they
physics.
pulling them into the chip then as well?
So then I start stacking them right on top of the chip.
Because it's a faster route to the chip.
Yeah, they actually make it so that there's an interconnect, and you can actually make an electrical connection from one chip to the
Oh,
next,
wow.
just layered right on
That's
top of
what
each other.
that's pretty much what the cache is. The cache is just the memory that's on
But
the
there's
chip.
disadvantages because now the chip is thicker.
Mm.
So now if you can't draw as much power because you can't. It's harder to cool because you have an extra thing to go through for the heat.
Mm.
Right, the heat has to pass through all the memory.
And are these are all still possible to be air cooled, or do they have to liquid cool them all?
No, they'll have regular, like a regular graphics card. Just like your graphics card right there with a shroud on it and fans. I'm pointing to your actual computer.
Oh, you're pointing up there. Oh, I see. Yes. On the computer, it looks like you're
David's
looking.
looking over there.
What
and
the
I'm
hell?
pointing-
What? I have a CPU. What? I'm a GPU. Where? What? Huh?
Yeah, no, just like
Yeah,
regular
but that has liquid cooling.
on your CPU.
Oh, the CPU, yeah, but not the GPU, right? Of course, right.
Yeah,
Although,
just
You
do
wouldn't need
self-contained. Yeah.
cooling on that either.
yeah, I think
What
it's
do you
doing
have?
right.
You have like a 6700K or something.
Yeah, you might be a little overkill for the water cooler.
I
but
think
it
it's
looks
like is it like a 1080 maybe or something? Or
You have a 980 Ti.
What?
980 Ti.
Is that what I have?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because it was a nice. At the time, it was like top of the gen. It was the 3080 that Baz now
for
has.
what you're
up
doing
there.
with it, it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the games that you play, which is pretty much none. I don't.
Yeah, it's true. I don't even like. Yeah, I mean, this stupid Vertigo. I don't play anything anymore. Let me just check on 5Pup. We still got you.
Oh yeah, I just don't understand, so I've been quiet.
You just don't understand. Well, what kind of computer are you running, 5Pup?
All I really know is that I have a 1080. That's mainly the
1080,
only
so
thing
that's-
I know.
Pretty good.
Right. So that's better than mine, right?
Roughly
better than
on
that.
par.
No, 90 Ti, that's more like 1070 Ti speed.
Yeah,
I have in my laptop. I have a 2070, I believe.
but it's a mobile one.
It's a mobile.
It's a mobile,
one.
it's not
yeah.
the same.
They're usually
But I
like,
still feel it.
But
though.
it'd be faster
Yeah.
than your 1080 or 90 Ti.
Oh
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
yeah, way more. And 5Pup, do you feel like you're? Is it living up to what you need though? Like, would you need to upgrade?
I would only need to upgrade when I start trying to play different games.
So none of your games are like stressing it out at all at this point.
Yeah, I'm playing Valheim right now.
Valheim, really? And Valheim's not Valheim.
Ah, good game. That's
Oh,
a great game.
Baz
I love
approved.
Valheim.
That is Ham approved.
Something
That
that
is
I actually did recently.
totally Ham
Chips
approved.
and I played it for a bit together.
Which one was that
Yeah.
one?
It's the one of like Norse mythology. It's really
Oh
fun.
yeah, Baz loved that one. Yeah, but isn't that? I
Right
would have thought
now-
that was big CPU usage or big.
No,
GPU
it's a not very high graphic game for its quality.
Oh, okay.
It's very like a. So like, there's nothing really perfectly round in it. Everything's sort of like.
Everything you can see the
squarish.
polygons. Excuse me, your
While it
polygons
is a
are
beautiful
showing.
game, it's not beautiful because it looks so realistic. It's beautiful because it's like an art
Cool looking.
piece, sort
So
of.
it's almost
Yeah,
impressionistic
cool
rather
looking.
than.
Yeah.
So what games are taxing the GPUs now? Like, what are the killer games that you need to be using running 3080 Ti's or
Well, nothing.
any of the
really.
new
If you're at
Forza
1080,
games.
Any new Forza game, Battlefield.
Forza?
Like Forza,
I
even
mean,
if you're at 1080p,
Battlefield,
there's
Yeah,
no need
that's
for
the other thing to
1080.
consider is what resolution are you using.
Right. Okay.
Arc.
Like if you're playing at 4K,
Is Arc
almost
GPU
every game is
intensive?
30.
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
heavily.
Arc, it's relatively
Um,
just terribly off.
I guess
really
you could
is
say
I
Apex.
hear Arc. I heard somebody say
Oh
Arc.
yeah.
Looking for my
Arc just won't
Steam.
run well on anything, pretty much.
Elden Ring is very.
Elden Ring
Elden
looks
Ring
pretty
was
intense.
Fine for me.
If you look at the
I
chat.
just
It was fine. It is CPU taxing. GPU taxing.
Well, there's lots going on in the chat. Look at this. There's tons of stuff happening.
I
We've got
read the chat
subscription,
sometimes, yeah.
Lethargic Galago, thank you very much. What else we got? We can welcome V Lyrics Rilinsk to the channel. Welcome. Valheim is a Viking Norse mythology game. Yes, it is indeed, and it's awesome apparently. Who else
It's
we got?
very
here?
good.
Anyone else? But yeah, it's true. Basbrook. Still more suspicious activity by 999. What are they saying? Have a good week, guys. Eat hearty, eat healthy, stay hydrated, rested, and always be thinking about securing a better future.
Okay.
So thank you very much. That's good to know. I love it when Twitch starts calling out people as dodgy. Hydrating. There you go. Microsoft Flight Sim is very taxing on PCs, but is it taxing on the GPU or is that the CPU?
Yes,
on
very
everything.
taxing on
It's
GPU.
Very
everything.
taxing.
You
Yeah,
You get it so that the
heavily.
entire
Especially
world
RAM,
is like
too,
live
it's a
with
large
the
map.
satellites. Like
Oh,
live
it's
stream
using.
satellites.
Is it using like Google Earth or something?
No, well,
Kind of.
partially.
Really?
They
Alan,
like- they like
Alan's got his
generated-
head bowed down in disgrace because he hasn't set it up for Amy yet.
What for Amy?
Isn't she supposed to do? Didn't she want to play or something?
Oh, flight simulator.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta finish building the system
That's what I'm saying.
What kind of
That's-
system are you building?
to run flight simulator.
3081?
If
Just
not
take one of the
3091.
ones in the garage.
How many of the GPUs are you putting in? I got like multiple GPUs on that. Oh,
the
can you do
biggest
that?
one I can find.
Can you do multiple GPUs with the 30 series?
Yes,
I
it's not very
kind of-
useful
Yeah.
anymore. It's just gotten to the point where nothing supports it.
Because they used to have that thing called, what was it, SLI or something, where you could, you could.
Yeah,
It's-
SLI.
that's
It used to
not
be a big
supported
thing.
anymore,
It'd be like stuff in XLI, like to get
Yeah.
the best performance, like a really high-end system back in the day would have like 90 Ti's and SLI. You'd have like 2 or 3 90 Ti's.
Mm.
Yep.
But now, like a high-end system, there's like unless you're rendering, there's no point in like multiple GPUs. You won't see any big benefit.
And then with things like with crypto. So we were talking about crypto. So both LordChunky and Alan were and are you not still into crypto over there?
Most of them were.
Well, I still have my.
Yeah.
I
I have some. They've just closed Bittrex for me. They're not. The Canadians aren't allowed to be in Bittrex anymore, so I've had to move everything over. But
I'll see what mine's at now. It's down a lot still.
it's so. But Alan, you've stopped using your CPUs for mining. GPUs. Sorry.
CPU
God
mining
damn
is
it.
a thing that's
GPU,
not very
GPU for mining,
Yeah, because it's gotten to the point where it's not profitable anymore.
which is great from a gaming standpoint because now
Yeah.
we can have GPUs for cheaper.
Yeah.
Have they dropped considerably in price?
They're coming down. Yeah.
Yeah. People keep saying it. They still seem expensive to me.
Well, it doesn't happen like instantly.
Mm.
I'm still like really excited for 40 series to come out.
So they'll drop
I want to
even
try and
more.
grab like a cheap water blocked card. That's my goal. And then I can do like a custom loop system with.
Okay, well,
secondhand
step.
stuff.
Okay, go back for this. Okay, so you want to buy a water block. So you want something that's got liquid cooling on it.
It's not really liquid cooling. It's like what the
Well-
liquid cooling would be pumped through.
Yeah.
Imagine like the thing on your CPU right now without anything else.
Yeah, it comes with the water
Like
block.
just yeah.
Instead
Built in.
of a
Water block.
fan assembly.
But then you still need the radiator and the tubes and the liquid.
Oh god, that seems like a recipe for like spraying
Expensive.
water all over your CPU.
That's what would happen to you.
I guarantee you. That's why I didn't do
It's
it.
also
Yeah.
like stupidly expensive.
I've had it happen to me. It leaked into the power supply.
Oh,
It made a wonderful fireball.
Did it really?
Oh yeah,
Because what are you cooling it with?
water.
Just water.
Ideally
It is
still
just water. I mean, they say
It's
water cool. I
and
just
you
assume
mix a little stuff in it so it doesn't get funky.
so you don't get funky. You don't want the funky water.
Yeah.
It's a swamp water system.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you seen those? The bio batteries? The computer running off the bio batteries. It's basically an algae that's
Oh.
using photosynthesis to create enough electricity to run this little mini
Pie?
processor. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But you think about it, like if they're starting with that, it'd be kind of cool if you could have like a battery system, like if you could have like a giant, algae tank somewhere that could
And then the
Someone
swamps
said to
took over
invest
the
in
planet.
LN2.
that's it. What was that?
Someone said to invest in LN2.
That's it.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's the only problem, of course, is if we keep putting out things like the 40 series, because aren't they going to pull huge amounts of power?
Yeah, you won't be able to pour
Yes.
enough LN2 into
I
the thing.
was gonna say, yeah. You can have algae using it to cool it down. That's about it.
Because
Uh,
I think I don't know. I don't need like the most performance. Like what I've enjoyed doing most on my PC recently is just overclocking.
Right.
I'm more care about something that would like overclock well versus
Mm.
what would actually be like the fastest of the fastest.
Well, LN2 actually drops your power draw.
Because it's so much more efficient when you have like.
Yeah, it's so much colder.
Huh. So wait a sec. So this overclocking that you're doing on
Yeah, like you didn't see the Linus video? He had like a 12900K,
Mm.
and he was overclocking it like past 6 gigahertz or something
With like
with
ease,
LN2,
too.
and it was drawing less power than stock.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and how does that work?
Because when it's really cold, like there's not.
Because
as
he's
much,
got
like,
it cold
resistance.
enough because
Yeah.
of the cooling system.
It's like it's
Okay.
minus 200 degrees Celsius almost.
Oh, really?
And it's to the point where like
Things are less resistive.
less
Yeah,
resistance.
yeah, that makes sense. But I didn't realize you could get it that cool.
LN2, yeah.
LN2, it's liquid nitrogen.
With liquid, wait a sec, but you're not having that flowing through the system all the time.
No,
it's like
you
you have
pour it
like
in a
a
cup.
pot, and it's like.
Oh,
yeah,
I've seen
50,
that, but
50.
that's like a kludge, isn't it? That's like you're not gonna. And
No,
won't that
you don't
wreck
want
it
that
eventually?
I mean,
Not really.
it doesn't wreck it.
The thing,
The moisture wrecks it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
you're gonna
really
get this horrible condensation all over the thing.
Yeah, you have to like manage that and have insulate things.
Huh.
Well, one thing I actually did recently that's kind of sketchy is I put liquid metal on my laptop.
That's not sketchy.
It's a little sketchy
You put liquid metal.
on my laptop.
Liquid metal is you use instead of thermal compound.
I mean, it's still putting like highly conductive stuff in there.
It's like an indium. Yeah, you have to
It's
be
like-
careful not to get it anywhere else because it's literally like mercury.
Hmm.
I think it's like what, like gallium or something too.
Yeah, there's gallium, indium. It's a mix of metals.
'Cause all I know is
you,
it's
you,
not-
You make an alloy that just stays liquid at room temperature,
Huh.
and then you just put a little on a Q-tip and you apply it as if it was like thermal paste.
Hmm.
But you only use very little, just enough to make contact.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right. But it's gonna make
drop.
it makes way better thermal contact than anything you could possibly.
It dropped my
try.
temperatures by 20 Celsius.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
I mean, that's like versus like old thermal paste that was like 2 years old.
So
Yeah.
you
Maybe
clean
only
off
like
the thermal
10
paste, put a little bit of this stuff on.
Yep.
Try not to get it everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm going. And you're saying you get a 20% increase in the
20
Not
degree
20%.
drop.
20 degree. Okay, sorry. Okay.
More than 20%.
More than 20%?
Because
Yeah.
it's like, it was about like, before it would peak at about 95 C. And
Like
then it
70
was,
C or something, right?
Mm.
Yeah, because it was a laptop, so it didn't have the best cooling. So it would go up to 95, and then it was like max of 75 pretty much. Like,
So is it? So
usually
you
like
pulled
69
apart your
or high
laptop
60s.
and
Yeah.
and repasted with this stuff
Yes.
in order to win the what was it called the
I didn't get any world records because like there's other things that are important. Like I didn't have like a very fancy laptop.
Mm.
So here's the thing: it's just like in order for it's like any laptop with a 9750H and 60 Ti.
Mm.
So any laptop with those specs will be like competing against each other, kind of.
Right.
For a record, pretty much. So like, I have a lower end laptop, so with like an Asus Strix fancy thing,
Right.
it would have like much better power draw, much better cooling, and would just be able to like beat me up much easier.
So if I let you at my 2070,
Mm-hmm.
you would pull it apart, take
Yeah.
off the copper cooling ducts and all that stuff, and remove the paste that's on there and put
Yeah.
on this other stuff.
Exactly.
We should do that on stream one day.
I do that. I also want to repaste my graphics card. I do that on stream.
You could repaste the graphics card as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Should probably repaste. Actually, I'll repaste yours.
Yeah. So I can get
Because
20.
yours is
I don't,
like.
I don't know how much more you're gonna get.
I was
out
gonna
of it.
say.
I
I
know,
feel
but
like.
his is like 8 years old.
Something like that.
So like, I'm sure that paste is not in.
Thank you, Crazy Nut, for your subscription.
I think the other issue is he's never taxing that GPU.
No, never. If I'm taxing it, it's just because I'm doing something stupid with it. Like I forgot to shut down 10 things before I or I'm running like 10 different. I'm running 10 different streams of us on Twitch and having that many echoes.
And it'd be tricky for you to repaste that GPU while doing a stream with that GPU.
Can you imagine trying to do it?
Oh, yeah, that would be a little
I
challenging.
think you'd probably end up electrocuting yourself.
I could bring my GPU to swap out.
You gotta be
for
really
my
fast.
70.
It's really quick before those other people know.
Before the photons.
Yeah,
man.
that's it. You
Yeah.
gotta be photon fast, man.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this this overclocking thing? Was it just it started with just software, right?
Yeah, just software like MSI Afterburner is a big thing,
Right.
and then
Which I think
also-
you installed on Bass's computer.
I did install.
Yes, yeah. But does that mess with the? Does it mess with compatibility? Does it mess with? What do you have to look out for in that kind of thing?
Greatly increased power draw. You can,
Oh,
like,
really?
Power
So
draw
can-
by quite a bit.
Which can
Um,
overtax your power supply.
Yeah, but the more issue is just like temperature
Right.
and then stability. If you go too fast, it will not be very stable.
And why is that? It just
It's just
Physics.
yeah.
does it start quantum tunneling when it's not supposed to?
You're using that term.
Damn right. I'm throwing it in.
I
It
said
does
it
not
one
make the
time
trans-
earlier.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the transistors any smaller, David.
Right. It doesn't. No. Damn it. Well, no, because you were talking about that whole thing with the SSD.
That's
right.
how SSDs store bits.
And that's just a different. There must be some quantum mechanics happening on the
If
CPU
it goes-
and GPU stuff, though, isn't it?
I guess if the frequency goes too high, then you start like messing with parallel paths in what is the interference, right?
Right.
Interference effects within the chip.
Right.
Basically, it's designed to be able to go a certain speed, and there's only so far you can really push it physically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like even if you can keep it cool and give it plenty of power and all this other stuff, eventually you're just gonna hit a wall. Where
At some point, you just can't get any more
Yeah.
things down those.
well, the frequency is just like you have to realize when they plan out like the paths these circuits take inside the chip.
Mm.
Like it literally is. If you just look at say like 5 gigahertz worth of frequency.
Right. Right.
Well, you can actually plot out like what is the speed of light
Right.
for 5 gigahertz.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And you're actually approaching like the path that the circuit takes within the chip, because
Right.
it's not just a straight line, right? It's
Right. Right.
it's a mesh of things, right?
Yeah.
And so you start running up against like, okay, laws of physics say that this can only get from point A to point B in this amount
And
of
there's no
time.
time. You can't get faster than
You
that.
can't you just can't go faster than that, right?
Ha.
Because on some of the best runs I got, there's like artifacting. So it's just like on the best run, it's just like crazy like green lights flashing everywhere all around. It's just like starts
Yeah.
acting really funky.
Like,
Huh.
like the reason Linus was able to overclock to say 6 gigahertz
Hmm.
and a part that was only supposed to run at like 5.2 or 5.3,
Right.
right? Is because he wasn't running up against that particular speed of light thing.
Hmm.
But since the temperature was so low, the resistances were so low.
It can move much faster.
It was able to transition so much faster that there wasn't like there wasn't so much stuff in the way. Sort of is a way to think about it. Right?
So we've basically got to a point where we're sort of up against the wall in general, anyways. Then, so
that's how it's been for like decades.
And thus the quantum
There's always
computer.
been why do you shrink further? Why do you have to make a transistor smaller?
That's
so you
right.
can get them packed closer together, so
Yeah.
you can then increase the frequency.
But the closer you get together, the more they interfere, the harder it is to manufacture. I'm assuming as well. Right?
Yes.
Excuse me.
But again, the smaller you make them, you can make it so that the voltage transitions are even smaller, which means less interference
and less
so
power.
there's a balancing act with 50 different sliders, basically, right, to try to make faster and faster things.
So what comes next then? I mean, what's the is it quantum?
Well, you mentioned quantum, but quantum is going to be really good, but a totally different problem.
Right, because that's also got to be super cool as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but to solve different things.
Right.
Like things. That's the reason that quantum is actually a threat for crypto.
Because it's good at that.
Because there's a way for you to make a quantum computer that you could basically form a problem for it to solve in such a way that it would be able to, like, if I want to hack your crypto password or whatever, right? I have to iterate through every possibility.
Right.
But for quantum computers, there's a way to make that problem work in such a way that the only possible answers just sort of come out as an answer.
I cannot get my head around that. Have you got your head around that quantum stuff yet?
There's a few really good videos on it that explain it.
I've seen a bunch of stuff, and I feel like I almost get it, and then it's like it's
really
like sand through my hands.
I'm skipping like 5 steps here.
Right.
But the overly simplistic way of thinking about it, and anybody that's actually studied this is probably going to cringe when I say this, but this is the overly simplistic way. You just have like quantum states, right? Things that could be in multiple states at the same time, and they just like end up at some particular state when you observe them.
Right.
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 Well, imagine if you had a wide enough quantum computer with enough bits.
Right.
You could basically just throw the opposite of a crypto, like you basically put the equation in backwards, and it would just land at the only possible answer.
Huh.
It would just because it's not at any particular state. It's quantum, right? So it would basically be like, oh, hey, dummy, this is the answer. This is the only way that this can possibly settle out to. So here's your answer.
But I still can't figure out how that's actually doing the computing.
Well, that to do computing is the act of trying to program a quantum computer is figuring out, okay, how do we set this up
Line
in such a
things
way
up
that
in
we
such a
want
way-
it to solve a particular problem?
But then does that mean that the quantum computers that we have right now are very specific in what they can do? Because they have to be configured to answer that
The
one question?
specificity is going to stay the same. The variance is how many bits wide are they?
Right. And how many bits have we got? How many
We're
qubits
only
are
in
we?
like dozens at the max right now. It's
Right.
not.
But that's getting close to a lot of passwords, though.
No, because like crypto stuff is like 4096 bit.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
All
crypto keys are like crazy long strings.
All right. I was thinking like passwords, because
No.
they're only 12, sometimes 12, 8 even sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that translates into a key that's actually really
much larger than that. Okay. All right. But gaming wise, we're not going to be looking at any quantum gaming anytime soon.
I mean, it wouldn't make much sense.
Well, it's funny because like IBM you can actually log into IBM systems, quantum systems, and program them now, right? You can they allow access to go and try
For
the
research.
quantum. Yeah.
For people trying to learn it.
No, for anybody. It's just public knowledge and public access. It's amazing. So you could play tic-tac-toe on a quantum computer or something, which is amazing to me. I still no close to understanding what the hell it's about. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it would be a computer that could figure out every possible answer to your tic-tac-toe problem simultaneously.
Right. Well, I lose tic-tac-toe anyway.
And then you end up with a perfect tie.
Yeah, it
Perfect tie every time.
Yeah, basically.
And then
Tic-tac-toe was way too simplistic.
and
for a
that's how
computer.
it talks
You could do
itself.
chess. That would be more interesting.
Right.
Something that could figure out the perfect game of chess, which hasn't been done on proper computers.
Right.
Which is too neat.
It's only been done on.
Yeah, like think about so a regular computer for chess, it literally has to go through, what if he moves this? What if he moves that?
Right.
And it has to iterate through every possibility of that, right?
It's so funny. I still can't get my head around the idea of how it's. Like I understand. I mean,
I know it's.
I
Really,
understand that it's the superposition thing where it's in every position at the same time. I don't understand how. I mean, I'm assuming that it's just the way it's being explained. That it's like when you measure it, it becomes something. I'm imagining that that's not strictly the case, but that.
Well, it's not really becoming something. It's just.
Or it settles at some point.
it kind of like settles. It settles at an answer.
But that's the weird thing. That's the thing I can't get my head around. It's like boy, just by looking at it, basically, I am settling it.
Yeah.
But isn't that the same as just seeing it at that moment in time? Like at that moment in time, is it not just in whatever
Maybe that's
position?
what it's like from your perspective, but like.
So. Oh man.
See what I mean?
This really goes down the rabbit hole fast trying to explain it. It's the fact that the bits can impact each other
Like
through entanglement.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Whereas if you're just trying to figure
Entanglement
it out
being
yourself,
the fact that if one moves, the other one moves. type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And so because of that connection and and again way oversimplification as far as like cracking a crypto password thing, right? Because really what they do is they figured out some form of math that they can put into a quantum computer that actually helps them get closer to the answer sooner because of the way the quantum computer works.
Right.
Right. And then basically they just put in a really crappy guess, and then out comes something that's closer. And then they can use that to sort of zero in just because of how it
So
actually.
they just keep putting in.
Well, they put in a bad guess initially because it doesn't matter what you start with, but you just need a guess. And then there's a type of math you can apply via quantum computing.
This sounds like a Wordle puzzle. It sounds like quantum Wordle.
But a really good Wordle puzzle that's
Right.
like really difficult with like 1,000 letters.
So you start
Right.
by throwing garbage in, basically.
Yeah, you throw garbage in, but you don't get garbage out.
Oh man. But it just kind of blows my mind. Like it's funny. So one of the books I'm reading now. I can't remember the name of it now. They're talking about the fact that there's a specific bird, like a sparrow or something, that flies back. You know, that does its migration.
Oh, the one that went straight north.
And unlike other ones, yeah, they said, well, okay, so it must be sensing the magnetic.
Because it only diverted around like water.
Is that what it
And
was?
then it went back on the meridian or whatever. It was just like, yeah. It was like,
I mean,
it went
they
up
were-
Africa or something.
They didn't go into those specifics that I remember, but they were talking about the fact that they were saying that even if it was able to sense, that the only way they'd be able to sense
How
even
could
if
it
they
sense
were,
it that well?
how could they sense it in such a way that it would activate biologically? There wasn't enough power in the sensing of the magnetics.
Right.
So they said, what if the mystery of life, so to speak, is in the quantum? That maybe like that thing where we go like, what, someone's alive, someone's dead. This thing this thing is obviously using quantum mechanics at some level to figure out where it is using magnetic fields and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's
it
plenty
possible?
of depths of biology that we don't
And that's it.
we don't get.
But
Right?
which is just fascinating because the idea that maybe it's in the quantum level that life is somehow triggered at the quantum level instead of at the at the
I don't know,
sort of
how's your
organic.
how's your qubits feeling in there?
I can't even get Wordle, so I mean I don't think I'm gonna be solving this one anytime soon. But okay, so computing wise, not exactly looking at quantum gaming computers anytime soon, but we are looking at this 40 series. What is the advantage of the 40 series now? Is it just literally just smaller,
more
fat-
processing units.
More processing units.
So we're still just approaching it the same way. Just
well, now
trying.
we've started just going like, not the same approach. Before it was like really like power efficiency focused.
Yeah.
We
Right.
did this before. It was like like they do like the same amount of wattage but this much more performance.
Right.
Now
swing-
we're
they
still
swing
getting
back
more
and forth.
performance per watt, but it's still like now we're just like greatly increasing the power.
They'll optimize the efficiency of one of those cores.
Right.
Right. They'll get that as good as they can get it, and then they'll go crazy wide with it.
Right.
They will just throw a bunch of them in there.
Right.
Right.
And I'm sure after the 40 series, maybe even the 50 series, then we'll go back
then
to
they
like
they might
working the
flip back
power
to
down
efficiency.
again. Then we're gonna be like, oh, it's like the same speed but draws 30% less power.
But doesn't that suck? Like, shouldn't we be worried about? We should be worried about how much electricity we're drawing at this point, shouldn't we?
Well, it's only
Yeah.
while you're actively, it's not sitting there
But it's not
500
even
watts
that
just right
much.
now.
It's
Mm.
like,
Right.
I don't know.
You have
What
to
is-
be- you have
so
to
what
be
are the-
gaming. You have to-
What do the 3080s draw right now? What are the 30 series
like
drawing?
300 max, I think. Well, it varies.
3090 can like 3090 Ti can do like up to 400. It just
Yeah.
it depends
Really?
on what you're doing.
It depends on who makes it, because
Depends
like
who
different
owns it,
companies
yeah.
will
Just
they'll
the
yeah.
GPU.
Well, no, actually, because the memory draws like 150 watts on a 3090.
Oh wow! So the memory on the GPU is drawing tons of power
If
as
you're
well,
really using the memory, like if you're mining with it,
right?
yeah, you're drawing a bunch of power just
But
from
then
memory.
the core doesn't do that much power. Which is
Yeah, and the
slightly
core
different.
uses less because it has like an overall maximum that it's supposed to draw.
And do they still make specific miners that aren't requiring the GPU that are just specifically designed for? What were they called? They were
They had special cards
ASICs?
at one point.
the ASICs. Yeah, they're
ASICs, those are just for Bitcoin. That's the thing.
those are specifically for Bitcoin.
Not and other
Well-
coins as well.
Ah.
But like,
There technically is an Ether ASIC.
but it's in like
It's super
Ethereum
expensive.
made to be ASIC resistant.
And are those like those?
It is made to be ASIC resistant, but they got around it.
Are those like the? Are those like those systems we were talking about before, where you could actually program the chip to do exactly what you want?
An FPGA is a programmable ASIC.
Right.
You can make an ASIC
Out of
much
FPGA.
smaller
Mm.
to do the same thing, but you can't change what it does.
Right. Because it's and as
It's
soon as
not
something
programmed.
changes in
You-
the way
you're-
that
Yeah, you're designing the chip to do, I'm only going to do the type of hashing that Bitcoin uses, and I'm just going to make a chip that just does that, right? And you can make a chip that's way faster at it than anything else because it's designed just to do that math.
Right. It's
Right.
done. It's so excited about it. It's like yay.
Yeah, it's literally the only thing it can do,
Right.
right?
So it's a single purpose chip that's designed to mine.
It's application specific.
Right.
I see.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's and that is and so could you take one of these programmable ASICs and then just program something that's specifically for Ethernet? Was there any advantage to that?
Ethereum? Yeah.
Ethereum? Is there an advantage to that?
Well, okay, so the trick with Ether is that it needs access to memory.
Right.
There's this thing called a DAG, which is sort of like an index, and that needs to be all in memory for the Ether math to work.
And the more you've got in memory, the faster you can.
No, it only needs to be able to hold whatever the whole table is.
Right.
And that table actually grows slowly over time,
Mm.
because as the blockchain keeps going, it adds more to the DAG,
Mm.
right? So at some point, you couldn't use like a 6 gigabyte, I think it was a 6 gigabyte card anymore.
Because
Yeah,
it
mine's
because it didn't hold it.
Yeah, or was it 4 or 6?
It's probably 4. 'Cause 6
I think it was
is a bit
4,
high.
yeah.
Mm.
So there was certain, once it got too big to fit in memory, then you just couldn't use that type of GPU anymore for Ethereum.
Ah.
And
And then so they're dead in the water then, and you have to
you
upgrade
use them
this.
for
Anything else?
normal GPU stuff.
For gaming.
Right? Gaming.
Yeah.
What they're supposed
You
to
give them
be
to your
used for.
friend Dave, and then he puts it in his. Yeah, exactly.
Well, although games today, like, they don't really want just 4 gig either. Like, you want more.
Yeah.
Most of the games are going to want more than 4 gig.
Mm.
Right.
Okay, well then, so sorry to jump around a little bit. Then what? So then, why are the Apple series of computers doing so well with all this stuff right now, with the graphics and things?
So they treat it a bunch differently.
A very different approach.
Their GPU is built into the same die as the CPU. It's integrated.
Like some of these motherboards are, where they have a built-in HDMI and stuff. They have their own little graphics.
So those, like, if it had like an Intel CPU, some of the Intel CPUs have like
They have like an IGP.
they have like
They're like a
IGP.
crappy-
But it's like a really crappy.
like a crappy
Yeah,
HDMI.
it's just like
output,
really
yeah.
simple integrated graphics.
No offense
It's-
to Intel, we love them, of course.
I mean,
but
it
yeah.
could do some gaming, but like actually, it could do the kind of gaming you're doing probably anyway.
Really?
You
Yeah.
could probably run whenever you like your daily stuff off an IGP.
Yeah, you could probably run.
It is amazing when they talk about my computer. I feel like they're talking to a toddler.
Uh-huh.
It's like
Oh,
you can do it. You can go up the stairs. Look at his little computer go. It's so cute. Oh, look at him. Minecraft. That would kill it.
No, you can play Minecraft on an
That's what
IGP.
Minecraft's on nice.
Not running a ray traced version. of
No,
it.
not ray traced.
Which of course
So-
I'd be doing.
So the Apple stuff, they just have like a beefier version of that, beefier GPU, beefier
Right.
graphics
Built into the M1s or
built
M2s.
into the
or
M1,
whatever, yeah.
and the M1 has memory that it can talk to much faster.
Right. That's why they have
That's their
smaller memory, but it's much faster.
Well, that's why you
keep
can't
going.
upgrade the memory because it's right there.
Right.
Right.
That and they hate the right to repair. But yes.
Well, but like
Yes. It's
you
built.
kind of get their angle if
Yeah.
you see what they're doing there, right? Like that's,
Right.
you can't make it that fast any other way.
Right. It's not like they're going to snap into place if they've got to actually be like
Right.
a part of
you
the
can't
actual
really have a
chip.
socket like
Got it.
like here's an example.
Are you worried? Do you have to run something?
No.
Okay, right.
So
Feel
for,
free. So go
uh,
ahead.
On the Discord call.
for the
You
new
killed the Discord chat?
I was just trying to see if I was still in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
happen
it's
to have
hard to
a
tell,
you don't happen to have a motherboard lying around, do you?
yeah. Lying around.
Okay, so if you're, when you're like
Funny thing is, I might.
when you were trying to build that PC you
Oh,
were
it'd be in the
building,
garage actually. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, those are fancy. Yeah.
So when you were trying to build a PC,
Yeah. There's our Mr. Motherboard.
yeah, like that computer right there,
Yeah.
that's that we're streaming on right now.
Yeah.
So that has DDR4 memory in it.
Or does it?
It does.
Oh, good. Okay.
Chances are it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that one has
DDR3.
Maybe it's
Is that
DDR3.
3, 4? Is
I
that
think
4?
it's a DDR4.
Say 4?
If it's 3 or 4, it doesn't matter.
4. It's 4.
But-
There you
so,
go.
the,
Yeah.
so the sockets for that memory,
Mhm.
if you looked at the back of that motherboard, there'd be pins sticking through
Right.
because
Yeah.
they soldered it in. Right.
Yeah.
DDR5,
Mhm.
even though it still looks the same in a system, it still sticks the plug in.
Yeah.
Right. they can't go through the motherboard with pins with DDR5
Right.
because the frequency is so high.
Just sort of shoot out the
that
other end.
Just because the wires are literally poking through, they can't do that. They have to do surface mount sockets where they just lay only on the surface of the board
Oh, wow.
and in the line of the paths that are going to the CPU,
Oh wow.
right? Because it's going that fast that it gets to the point where it matters if the wire is literally sticking out sideways. That's a problem.
Oh wow. So they've actually sort of integrated into the board.
They had to make a different style socket.
So the again the chips go in, but the socket it's going into has a whole different streamlined version of that.
Yeah, for the data to
Which
go.
I'm guessing makes it more expensive as well.
It's not really that big of a difference. It's
Oh,
just
no?
the thing that makes it more expensive is that most people weren't using that type before, and now the industry has to switch over.
Right. And that is going to be the standard now is DDR.
DDR5.
DDR5,
Yeah.
and in the future they're probably will all be like surface mount.
Right.
You know, and it even matters. Like here's a little tidbit. Even for DDR4, notice how you have 8 sockets there,
Yeah.
right? But you have installed your DRAM
2 and 2.
in the far end sockets.
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't you think you'd want them closer to the CPU?
Because there's less travel. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
wouldn't it be shorter, right?
And that makes a difference on the DDR5.
No. That's not my point. Yours is actually installed the correct way
Right.
at the end.
Yeah.
Because what happens if you have one RAM in the middle
Hmm.
and then you didn't use the socket at the end?
Right.
Well, now you have a pieces of wire that are going the wrong direction.
Huh.
And the transitions in the voltage
Yeah.
actually will echo across that dead end.
Oh,
And-
wow.
and
So
come
that's
back.
why we're setting them up the way they
That's
are.
why you put
I always
them at the
wonder
very
why they
end.
said you got to put them in these different
That's
spots.
why you start at the very end and you work your way in.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
And you don't just work your way, and you have to go in alternating. 'cause
And
there's
you
channels.
and you're alternating because there's a different channel,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Which is also a thing.
God, that's
Because, like,
wild.
Yeah, channels
yeah.
is like very important.
It's just so funny that you actually have to think about it the wrong way
Mm-hmm.
because you have to have the better understanding of okay, well, why do you actually put it at the end?
Right.
And from way back in the early networking days, that was called termination. If you remember that term.
Oh yeah, remember termination. Yeah.
You needed a
used to have to-
terminator at the end
You
of
have
the
to
line,
terminate
right?
all of the networks had to be terminated. You had to have like a thing, literally a physical thing that you'd cap the
Yeah,
cable
you'd
with.
actually stick on the cable.
So
that
that
had a
would-
resistor in it.
Yeah.
And so the RAM at the end, those 4 RAM sticks are each at the end of a channel, and
Right.
they are also acting as the termination.
Which is why I see.
That's why
okay.
like certain like super high end motherboards that are like made for overclocking and stuff, they'll just have like two
Two
DIMMs.
slots.
They call it like 1 DIMM per channel.
Yeah.
Because then like it just allows those 2 DIMMs to run like the maximum speed with the most stability.
Yeah, the
Oh,
more
interesting.
the
Close to
more
the
the more
CPU's
DIMMs you put on a channel,
More interference.
the more you're
Yeah.
loading down the system. So to speak.
Because then also
Interesting.
like if you have like 4 DIMMs, often they'll either be like daisy chain or something.
Right.
So then you have 1 DIMM, then the other DIMM. So you can have like 2 DIMMs that can go pretty fast, and then the other 2 that might not be as fast because they're like daisy chain. They have like
And then the
more
system will
interference.
have to auto limit to the slower one.
The slower memory that you put in, it has to go down to that speed in order
Exactly.
to. Okay.
Yep.
So, that's interesting because I've always assumed that I want the more DD. What do they call it? DDR?
The more memory.
The more memory slots there are, the better. But you're saying I should just if I want to put like 64 gigs in, I should just put 232s in a dual.
Yeah, that's always the
channel.
best thing to do. Is just like the biggest
Well, okay.
capacity sticks.
There's more to it even than that.
Oh boy.
So for a given stick of
Do you see how
memory,
much he enjoys confusing the hell out of me?
no. It's a trade-off for everything.
Right.
So the more capacity worth of memory you want,
Right.
doesn't matter how it's installed, how many sticks or whatever,
Right.
but
Right.
the more total capacity you want,
Yeah.
right? At a given moment in time, like how they're producing this memory, each chip is only going to have so much capacity,
Huh.
right? So how do they get more capacity for one stick? Well, they might double up on the number of chips.
Right.
Or the chips might have more layers of the die stacked within the package in the actual chip, right? But here's the thing, the more of those you do, the slower it has to run because there's still more of it in parallel.
Oh, so you're
Right.
saying that so your 16
fastest memory-
gigs could run much faster than the 60
Yeah.
32s or whatever.
Usually,
Huh.
right? No, they're more likely to find faster memory in the lower capacity kits.
Huh.
And you're more than likely to find the faster motherboards, like he was saying with the overclocking boards, in boards that have only 1 DIMM per channel. So if the CPU has 2 channels, they'll only have 2 sockets, just
And
one,
that's it because there's
one
nothing
socket
else.
per channel. You put any more on there, you're going to slow it down.
Wow.
right?
So when you build your next system,
Yeah, I want to go for like a lot of the overclocking stuff.
you want to go for stuff so you can start winning like world records on crazy setups with your
Yeah,
with your
here's
stuff.
the thing. I won't win any world records, like with the high-end stuff.
Hey, that's not the
Because
spirit.
especially with high-end stuff, that's when it gets super competitive. Like with a
Ah.
1200K, that's when you get into people going like, oh,
Yeah, 'cause all
I'm
the
gonna
nerds
go
are-
LM2.
Oh,
all the
nice.
nerds are maxing out their really
Nice.
expensive system.
But
But
if
like-
you go, I want to max out my BlackBerry. You're like, no one
Yeah.
will be there. Yeah, okay, got
Because
it.
like it's not as competitive with my like I have an 8700 and 2070.
Right.
Like that's just not nearly as competitive because like any like hardcore people back then would have gone 8700K, which is the
Mhm.
overclockable chip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because with K the Intel is just overclockable or the unlocked.
They're unlocked.
Right.
And then,
I didn't realize they could lock them.
Yeah.
They do mostly for like where all that started
Power
was
draw
more
reasons.
where you would have like some mom and pop shop or some reseller or somebody
Mm.
would try to cut corners and they would pre-overclock the thing and then try to sell it overclocked and,
Right.
and pawn it off as something
Sell
else.
it as faster, and yeah, I remember that.
So that was kind of the
That was when all the shops were down on College Street. I remember
well
that.
yeah.
I was down here. There was a whole slew of these sort of mom and pop PC places.
Yeah, I mean that's really what drives it, and then of course there's some of the we'll make this one unlocked, and we're binning those like those are the absolute highest capable chips with the most margin, meaning like they have the most room to wiggle for you to try to push them
Right.
harder, right? And so to get the K series chip, like you're paying more basically for that.
And
you know.
see let me see if I've got this straight too. The idea behind the chips as well is that they'll make these giant wafers like you've showed me.
Yeah.
But they'll sell the ones that aren't as good as the lower ones. Is that right? They'll sell
Exactly.
slower speeds, so they'll
test all of them.
test all of them and say this is the best. That gets used for the high ends.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are not as good. They get used
Because
for
they
lower.
they'll also like disable some of the cores.
Yeah, and sometimes they disable
It's like
cores.
a
They're like, well,
bad one.
we want to
Like-
sell 8-core parts. We want to sell 6-core and 4-core, whatever, right? So we
like-
can make it, and like, well, these
Even
2
the
cores are bad.
4-core parts are the same.
Ah.
They're all made the same way. But
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, if someone.
So it is. So if there's a couple of cores that don't work, and you go, oh, it's only a 4-core. I guess it's a 4-core chip.
They do what's called fusing them off.
Mm,
In theory, you shouldn't be the wiser as that they were even existed
right.
from your perspective.
It's
just
not like
building
you could
it
try to
together.
reactivate them and add a couple of cores.
Well, there was like that happened with some of the AMD ones back in the day where it was supposed to be like 1 core disabled, and people figured out that if you messed with something in the BIOS, you could like unlock it. But then you were rolling the dice because it might actually be a defective core.
right. It's being disabled specifically for that reason.
Yeah, maybe for that reason, but also maybe for well, we need to sell more of these.
Mm.
We've got these. These are actually all good, but this is where our market demand is for the fewer cores. So we just go in and we turn them off anyway. But sometimes that happens.
Well, okay, and then so my next question would be like we touched briefly on the Apple stuff. Like they're doing extremely well with their ARM chips, right? Is there an answer from from AMD and Intel?
There's
Something like
slightly.
It's
That's what, like,
still they're still kind of like trading blows back and forth, even though
It
like
depends on for what.
Yeah.
Because like with power efficiency, Apple's just.
Oh my
blowing
God,
everything
it's
out of the water.
insane! And
Yep.
why is that? Because have they got their
Smaller
manufacturing
process.
down?
Smaller process. What is it like? Is it 5 nanometer?
I think so. They're
And it's
they're,
smaller because they don't have to have everything. They just need what they need to
No.
run their.
No.
Oh.
They're just that's a gamble. When
Mhm.
you want to jump on the next process node, the smaller there's usually a lot of challenges and to even make that thing work correctly,
Right.
And so it's actually pretty bold to be making a huge chip like Apple's making and also making it on the new technology,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So that's a gamble,
Mhm.
but it's turned out like they pulled it off.
And
right?
it's a gamble because it's harder to manufacture those.
Because like there's been plenty, doggy. There's been plenty of stories of various companies have tried to push to the newer smaller node
Right.
maybe too soon,
Right.
and then they end up with delays and they can't ship that product when they wanted to,
And then
because there's delays, or at least within their standards if they have higher standards or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Sometimes it just works out that way. But if you can get there, then you can have lower power and higher frequencies. That's kind of that's the trade-off. That's what you get as a reward for being able to make the transistor smaller.
Huh.
Because
So-
there's less room.
So their fabrication is better than I don't know, like for for AMD or Intel or whatever. Is that
Because
are
they
they
don't
smaller?
Apple doesn't fabricate.
Yeah, Apple doesn't have. They don't fabricate their own chips.
Oh, they don't do their own. Oh, okay, all right.
As far as
There's Global
Intel's
Foundries.
the one
There's
that fabricates,
TSMC. They're just different. These are like conglomerates that like. They
And
just
how
make
small
chips.
can they fabricate them now? Where are they at now? Because there was a whole
There's
race
like some
between.
3nm stuff now.
You get 3? Seriously?
I mean, IBM's done like one. Like you can make stuff. It's just how
It's
small
what
can
you
you
can
go
make.
for mass production?
Right.
That's the key, right? Because
Right.
at the end of the day, you need wafers where most of the chips are good, and you're actually
You got a
selling
lot
them.
of bad wafers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I see. You got a lot of disabled cores if
So
it's
the
not
longest
working.
time
Well.
Intel was stuck on like 14 nanometer. Like,
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
14 nanometer.
That was the joke with
was
Intel
adding
with the
plus.
pluses.
It was like it was 4
It was
pluses.
a long time.
Or was it 3 pluses?
I don't remember. It was
It was
3.
a
It
lot
was
of pluses.
2 or 3 or something. Yeah.
And they were just basically using raw power to
Well,
compensate for that.
So in that time, they were optimizing. Like Intel used to do this thing called TikTok.
Hey, I know TikTok.
Well, different TikTok.
Yeah, got it.
Back in my day, before
I thought
it was that.
I thought
stupid
before
TikTok.
it was a TikTok. It was a TikTok.
Yeah. So they would do kind of like what we were talking about with NVIDIA, where you would do some next generation of the architecture,
Right.
where you would like re-engineer like the entire how the whole thing works basically,
Right.
But then the next generation after that, you would optimize
Right.
and say,
Okay.
okay, we're not going to shrink, or we're not going to or maybe you would shrink, and you carry the new architecture over to just make everything smaller, but not rearrange everything.
Right.
Just make everything
Make it a little
smaller.
smaller, and then that would allow for better power use
Right.
and all the rest of it. Right. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
and you can do different pieces of that at different, you might make different choices depending on how the whole industry looks. So for a while, Intel was sort of stuck in this, well, we're doing this 14 nanometer thing, and they were doing it really well.
Right.
Like the chips were still really fast,
Right.
but they weren't on the same shrink level as the competing chips,
Right.
right?
And didn't they
So
get to the point where they couldn't even use the light anymore? They had to use something else.
That's just generally how the shrinking works.
Right.
So now they're moving to EUV, extreme ultraviolet.
Because the frequency is small enough that is smaller than if they were to use
The wavelength of light at the higher frequencies
Is too
was
wide.
too wide for you to make the transistors as small as you
How
want.
freaking wild is that? Like that is pretty neat.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're doing all sorts of tricks.
So, and by taking a gamble like that, that's paid off for them because they've got faster, lower power chips. They've also got the ability of knowing exactly what they need to do because they also write the operating system as well, right? They make
They
the
have
whole
better
system.
integration for everything because
Right.
they own the whole thing.
But no one can really integrate like that unless they create their own, like unless like Dell decided to do that or something, right? I mean, they wouldn't be able to do.
I don't know. I mean, we know Apple's designing their own chips though,
Right.
so they really are controlling a whole bunch of. They might not be the fab. They might not be cranking them out. But the thing is, one advantage they have going for them, I don't know if you count an advantage or a disadvantage, is they sell fewer computers.
Right. They cost more.
So they don't have to worry so much about mass producing to the level of their competitors, right?
Oh,
Because
that's
there's less
interesting.
people buying them, so they can also really push the tech harder.
There's less people buying the Macs.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I guess than all PCs, of course,
PCs.
right?
Yeah, like CPU,
Yeah.
like Intel is somewhere around like 75% of everything.
Really?
Yeah.
And AMD's not caught up anymore?
No.
I mean,
It's just
AMD's like, whatever, I don't know what those numbers are off the top of my head, but it's on like probably 15 or 20% or whatever, and then Apple's the other 5 or 10%.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Okay. I asked about this the other day, and I'm curious to hear what LordChunky's perspective on it is.
Oh boy.
Is gaming on the Mac?
Game on the Mac. Just doesn't work because like nothing's built for the Mac.
I mean, there are games.
especially with the ARM stuff, which is all like, is it x86?
No, but you can compile, you can cross-compile
You can-
a thing. You don't have to like
Yeah.
rewrite it.
You don't have to rewrite it because like they have like the Rosetta and stuff to do that, right?
No, they don't even. You don't, not even to that. You can like, yeah, you can.
It
what-
literally is the chip will run that code as well.
It runs ARM. No.
No.
So what he just said, Rosetta,
Hmm.
is a piece of software
Yeah, that allows you to run other stuff on
that
it.
will then sort of translate.
It's an emulator, right?
Well,
No?
it's better than an emulator.
Oh, okay. All right. Like a virtual machine?
It like dynamically. It tries to dynamically recompile. It takes like the code that's meant to run on one CPU, and Rosetta is a little bit smarter than just like a regular emulator. Because a regular emulator would have to be like, it would have to mimic the x86 thing every time it tried to run that
Right.
instruction.
Right.
Whereas
this
Rosetta
one,
tries to like do some work up front and like sort of.
and once you've run it once, it actually runs faster the next time because it's already figured out how to.
but
okay,
it's still
yeah.
not as good as it would be if you just wrote the program and compiled it for ARM.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, if you're like a game developer and you have all your source code,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's not. mean, it's not rocket science to like just recompile it for the. You might need to make some tweaks.
It's not trivial though,
You,
or is it?
Yeah.
it's more
is
trivial.
trivial?
It's more trivial than it is
Because,
than
like,
you might think.
On the games, what is it, like Apple's like Metal API, on the game's made for that.
Yeah,
Mm.
there's a different API. So that would be the thing you would actually need to do some work, development work on, because it's a
Right.
different API than what you
API would be
have.
like versus like DirectX? Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
Right. Oh, DirectX. They still using DirectX?
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're on DirectX like 12.
Yeah,
it's
12 or
God.
13 or whatever.
I remember that. I mean, I don't know if it's any better. I remember it being incredibly kludgy to start.
Well, now it's just like pretty much the only thing. There's DirectX and Vulkan, but like DirectX is just pretty much everything.
Right, and that basically handles all of the calls to
It's
the,
just an API. You want to do graphics things?
Yeah, that's what you
Here's
set
your
it
set
to.
of instructions. You call them. It takes care of the rest.
Mhm.
Right. And same thing with Apple for Metal.
Right.
But
Oh,
if
is that what
you-
they call it? Metal?
They
Is that
call it
their-
Metal. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
right.
their lower level, like Vulkan API for
Yeah.
which is also separate from DirectX.
Right.
Vulkan does many things quicker than DirectX does, although DirectX is trying to catch back up now.
Right.
Um,
Does that mean you have to have both installed to run?
No,
It just-
depends on which.
Vulkan is sort of built into the game engine.
Oh, I see. Okay, right. So the game engine handles all that stuff for you
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
load
yeah.
that.
But like, so if you had a game on PCs and you wanted to make it work on Mac, then yes, you'd need to like figure out. Okay, you'd look up the Metal API stuff, and okay, we're making these calls on PC. We have to make slightly different calls to draw things on Apple. So you'd make some tweaks, right? But most of your code would be able to just recompile over because it's just code that's saying add 2 + 2, do whatever whatever things needs to happen for the game engine.
And they're also these systems are getting much better at recompiling stuff for you too, aren't they? Like I mean, there's
Well,
that,
compilers are
like
really come a long way.
the AI stuff is amazing. And even just the coding now, you can get help in the coding where
Yeah.
it's
It was Visual Studio is starting to.
oh my god, they're fantastic. Where like literally it's almost like a Google finished complete thing where you start typing
Yeah.
you start typing a for loop and it goes and then goes like here you can just fill in the variables and stuff. It's amazing.
Some of that is really generic because they're just like, oh, if you're going to start a for loop, of course you're going to end
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
right?
some of it's simple, but apparently it's getting quite.
Yes, some of it's AI.
If you're willing to
machine
pay a little,
learning.
maybe get a little of their fancy stuff happening, it works. I mean, it's one of the things that I worry about. There was this big push for you got to get to the dog. That's okay. She could be out there. She just lies in here and farts. It's horrible.
Oh, okay.
Well, that or it's me. One of the two. I'm pretty sure it's her though. I haven't got to that age yet. But it made me wonder about this big push, like, oh, you got to learn how to code. Kids have got to code. Girls have got to code. Minorities have got to code. There's this big thing about everyone's got to code. It's like so important to code. And I'm like, is it? Because anything they learn in school right now is probably going to be obsolete by the time they get out of school. Because I mean, there's certain coding languages that it's good to understand.
Yeah.
But they're going to have drag and drop programming that could do most of the stuff that most of these people are going to need to do.
But I don't know. For most cases, to relearn or to learn a different coding language, usually once you get one of them down, you're pretty close.
But what if?
There's some exceptions, but like,
there's but you can drag and drop stuff now. Like there's just it's.
So I just feel like there's like gonna be limitations with that.
Of
Yeah.
course,
There wouldn't be
absolutely.
with, like-
the more
And there'll be little pieces of code that you have to write to get things to sort of.
right. The
I-
more black boxy you get, the less optimized it's going to be.
Right. Okay. But the system's running so fast. Does it really matter in most of the cases anyway?
Well, why wouldn't
Depends
you
on
want it to go
what.
faster?
Well, I mean, I like it to go faster. I'm just that's the AI can figure.
You
it out.
always want it to go faster, right?
I guess my thing is this: is that I feel like coding is becoming. I'm always on the lookout for what are things that are going to be replaced by AI and robotics and stuff. And well, the other day I was talking about like the legal profession, how so much of that is about reading documents and processing documents, and that's something that AI is amazing at doing, which puts an awful lot of legal assistants or whatever they're called, legals, whatever they're, I don't know what the term is, puts them out of business because a computerized AI machine learning system for machine learning to AI is going to put them out of work. There's no way around it. Like why on earth would you hire someone to read through documents that can be completely processed by machine learning? Same thing with the programming. If you've got systems that can iterate through over and over and over again, constantly making them faster and seeing what works and what doesn't, it could run all night or run for a month and take your code and a month later you've got your entire thing rewritten and optimized by machine learning in a way that you'd never be able to get humans to do. That's my pitch. That's my pitch for it. No?
That would probably work good for a compiler.
But not convinced. You're not convinced.
You still need to I don't know. I don't think it's nearly far enough along for you to just tell it what you want, and out comes the thing a week
No,
later.
absolutely not.
Right.
I do think but I feel like that's where we're headed.
Right, but
To some extent.
But the programming language itself is your ability to tell it what you want.
Right, is to be more specific with it. Yes.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
So,
But again, I feel like this visual approach to the programming is so smart. People always poo-poo it as sort of like this kind of like, oh, that's for babies or whatever. It's for like beginner programmers. But I'm like, it almost doesn't matter as long as if there's a way to automate stuff just by dragging and dropping. That makes much more sense to me because then you get to spend all your time on the creative side of it as opposed to on the really just rehashing all these freaking loops and
Yeah.
switches or whatever the hell you're using. Well, sure.
Yeah.
But it was one of the things I noticed when Visual Basic first came out. Everyone was complaining about Visual Basic being kind of, it's big, it's clunky, it's all this kind of stuff. But the reality was the computers rose to the level of the spaghetti code that had been written, if that makes sense. Like Visual Basic became fast enough because computers became fast enough to run all that extra code that was being used. So.
well, the visual part of Visual Basic wasn't so much object-oriented programming. It was that it had all the UI stuff, so you can make like
Oh, God,
windowed.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't that you were just
Without having
dragging
to
over
write
for
the
loops
code.
or something.
No,
It was
no,
still
no,
just
no.
regular code.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You still add it, but it was just I love the idea of like having these little sort of visual containers that you could put the code in and have
Right.
them. That it was such a much more intuitive way, certainly for someone who was starting out. Well, not starting out then, but I mean, who was dabbling with that. At the same time, I love the command line because I love just being able to go do exactly what I want, do it now. That's it.
So when they develop like, there's other advantages for that sort of object thing, where everything you know is contained within that particular box that does a particular function.
Right.
Right. One of the first places I saw that in practice was they were developing new reactor plane control systems,
Ha.
and they wanted to make digital, like the actual running software because. The Navy in particular were really opposed to that for a very long time, right?
Right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We just have this set of relays controlling the rods.
Right.
Right. So
Like physical relays.
that's been working for the past 30 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah, no, like when I was running reactors on subs, like if I moved the shim switch, they moved the rods, I would hear a bunch of relays flip over inside the cabinet, right?
Yeah.
Because everything was relay-based logic.
That great sound of.
Because it's like you're not supposed to move the rods out if these conditions aren't met, and there would literally be relays in the way of the circuit,
Ha.
right? But they were trying to move over to an electronic system,
Right.
and they're like, well, how do we guarantee that these different functions are doing what for no matter what? Like you don't want to find a bug like
While you're-
500 feet under the ocean,
Yeah. Generally not.
right? Like and then the rods go the wrong direction or something. Like that just can't happen, right? So the way around that was they would do this very strict object style programming
Right.
where it's like this function is handled by this. We have tested this thing to death,
Right.
right? And
Now
we know
it
that
can be
this section
used.
of code can only produce this particular kind of an output with
Right.
this particular input, right? And then they plug that in, and then they move on to the next box, basically.
But that's
Right.
genius. That's what I loved about it. All right, I gotta pee. All right, Lord
boy.
Chunky, have a look at the
Chunky's
chat.
driving.
Have a look at the chat. See what's going on. See what
I
people
guess
need to
the
know.
Big fancy chair.
I'm gonna pee.
That's it. You're in control. It's taking you.
The big fancy
It's taking you months to sit in the big chair.
That's what it's like.
Oh, now you get
Not
to
even,
only
like,
have
on
half of
camera.
you.
Oh, there
Okay,
we go.
fine.
Mine's like more
Gotta,
than half
like,
on camera.
No, that's not even.
It's like
Just
over there.
turn that one. Yeah, there we go.
That's slightly better.
Take over. We're taking over.
Taking over.
We have. I don't know. What are we gonna do? We're gonna start rifling through things.
Oh, I saw like a really high powered fan in there. It looked interesting.
Oh, we're gonna. Okay. All right.
Like, how many watts would it be? It's like.
Oh, that's like an ASIC miner fan.
Yeah, it was like a 20-watt fan.
Why does he have that?
I don't know. I want it.
What is?
He has like a box.
Oh
of,
wait,
like,
that's a
the
Thermaltake
weirdest
fan.
fans.
Why is that a
He has
Thermalake
like,
fan?
he has like one, and then he has like this one. This one's like real beefy.
Oh yeah, no, those are yeah.
So I can check your
Well,
finger.
show the stream. They don't know.
Yeah, this
Yes.
big chunky fan.
Mm,
I don't know what this is.
just
12
cooler.
volts, 1.6 amps.
This is a just cooler.
Just cool. What is it? Cool.
It's just. Hey guys, this is just a cooler.
Just that's all.
Just.
Oh, what's that
cooler.
called? A PCIe slot.
Yeah, it's like a PCI slide cooler.
Oh, does it like dry air in? Like
But it's
push it out your
no,
TV?
it probably blew. Well, let's see.
If it blows it.
I'm not sure which way it
Relax
goes.
power.
We'll have to plug it in.
I think it would go like. Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh my God, he's got a penny over it.
Instead of paying free.
Old
Is
school.
that, what is that? Is
Old
that like a
school,
sliding
guys.
CPU stuff?
He's got old school slot 1. Sorry,
God, I
it was,
feel better.
it was before your time.
Hey, some old fans.
This is
Serious
slot
fans.
1 CPU.
There you go.
Look at that.
Yeah, isn't that one? Isn't that fun?
Oh my goodness.
Is that how you used to put the CPUs in?
Yeah.
How many pins would that be? Like.
But
100
that was
pins?
I would say that was
That's-
a new addition, though, wasn't it?
At the
You should
time?
show people what you're doing. What do you
No,
got?
we showed it to
Oh,
him.
did
I'm
you?
sure whatever.
So this is the what was
Slot
this?
1, baby.
Was that the first one?
What do you mean the first one?
The first slot version of it?
Well, no, they made a Pentium 2.
Was that the Pentium 1?
That's a Pentium 3.
Oh, 3, I see. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
I just
And then
think they're
AMD had
beautiful.
a slot A.
I just think they're beautiful. Like,
Must,
I just
have,
think
must have been great in Canada.
A. So A.
Slot A.
Got a slot A. Use the slot A. You can stay there if you want.
No, you can have your chair.
Sure, you
back.
don't want the. I warmed it up
Yeah.
for you and everything.
Pretty
It's a slightly damp chair. I mean, it's perfect. You know what's so funny is that the way that I talk with both LordChunky and Alan is exactly the same off and on stream. I've noticed. You notice that? We have exactly the same discussions. We just happen to do it on stream.
Yeah, it's the same.
So what's all right? What do we got? What do we got going here? Vipup, you got any questions?
My brain has completely broke.
You and me both.
Sorry,
buddy.
Vipup.
There's a lot. He's like, my brain is completely broken.
Camera pointed at the dog.
Gippy, do you want to attack the dog? What?
No.
I was gonna put a camera on the dog.
Put a camera on the dog? Well, here, take a camera. We got cameras galore here. Well, don't take the one that's using the sound. Use that one. There you go. There you go. There you go. See if we can get that. There you go. Try that. Is that? Ooh.
You unplugged your monitor?
Oh, broke it. That's as far as it goes. There you go.
what'd you do
No,
now?
it's got a bad.
Dual monitor arm. Then you only
Do I need to
one
solder
monitor
something?
on it.
Don't ask.
You have.
I have a dual monitor arm and I have one monitor on. I know.
And then the other monitor.
I got a soldering iron. Oh, now it's on.
There you go. How's that?
There's a doggy.
There's the dog. There's the
Doggy,
dog.
you're on TV.
There you go. There's dog and armchair. Okay, what do we got? Who's doing what? I gotta use my mouse though. How do I use my mouse without? Okay, here we go. Having a what's going on? Very cool. Hola, go for Fluffernut. Hello,
Oh.
Pac Mom, Gippy G.
Is that the stuff?
What's Gippy G up to?
I found the secret spot.
Nightbot, his River Song, go for
Secret spot.
Fluffernut. Hello, Jonas TV.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
what you can learn in
That
school
good
is
stuff.
already outdated. Yeah, it's kind of true, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't touch
Doggy?
any of this stuff at school, do you? Do they
You know how
talk
to shake?
about
You know how to shake hands?
what kind of coding did you do?
Oh, look at the shake hands.
What did you
You
do?
did like
Shake
addition,
hands.
multiplication, and division.
So
in
good.
Python.
In Python, that's it?
Yeah.
Really?
Just like basic math formulas in
I
Python.
like Python, I gotta say.
Oh, you want to sit with me?
I did quite like Python.
Okay.
I've been trying to learn
Don't
Python
blame
on my
that.
own, but it's just hard to get started. I find.
Python is, there's a lot of, oops, that's my arm.
I heard Python was a little
You can put it back on
I was
the
like, what's
monitor.
that? Oh,
no.
There we go, dog. Can I see
Doggy.
that? There you go. Horrible hairy arm in the foreground. It's like horrible. It's mine. So you did, so the only coding you've done is in school was Python.
Yes. Not
Yeah.
even really Python, just like math in Python.
Really?
That's
That
math class.
counts. That's
It
Python.
counts, but it's like I don't know, like 2 to the power of 8. It's like formulas and stuff, like basic
Yeah.
stuff in Python.
Simple. Simple Python.
Very simple.
It's, I mean, I guess you got to start somewhere, but I do wish there was slightly more interesting ways of learning this stuff because it's, you know, and also how to break things. I loved doing the coding and going like, okay, so it says he wants me to put a 1 in. What if I put like -100? You know what I mean? Like, or 1,000 or just, you know, see what happens. Like try to get to, you know, infinite loops and things. I just found that so much fun. All right, what do you got? Sorry to hear this. Hope all is well. What's going on with his Riverside? Doing well. My kiddos are home for the summer. We survived school's end. Yay! Spent half my day yesterday in an MRI machine getting scans done. You know, that's what I did this week. This week? Last week? Was it last week?
It was this week.
Was it this week?
It was just a couple days ago.
No, it was last week.
It was Monday, wasn't it?
No, it was like last week.
Oh, it was
Was
Thursday?
it Thursday and Friday last week?
Oh, sorry, never mind.
Oh my God. It's like being married again. Yes, it was last week. I did 2 MRIs because
Again.
they won't do 2 shoulders at the same time. They'll do 1 at a time. All right, I'm gonna do a couple of things, and then I'm gonna bug Alan about electric vehicles. Do you know anything about electric vehicles?
A little bit.
Here we go. We're going in. Okay, so what's going on with River Song? Was there something MRI? Well, I'm good. Oh, good luck. Good luck with your MRIs. I think I have some nerve ablation for my spine in my future. Oh my God. So I don't have another appointment for follow-up until the 8th. Oh God, well, good luck with that. Hope they find something. I don't know if you can download your own MRI scans. I did, and then I got a YouTube video on how to read MRI scans, and let me tell you, it's not quite as easy as that.
Yeah, because we know what it looks like when McKay self-diagnoses.
Oh yeah, I instantly.
That never ends well.
I have cancer right away, no matter what.
Right.
I'm dying. So Janus TV is saying that even Tesla designs their own chips and have them produced by chip makers.
That's true.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it makes sense. Why would you want to?
There's a couple of those chips out there parked on the street.
Sunrider from, I'm guessing, France says that they read that quantum computers are not the best for everything.
That's true.
Yet. No, it's nothing at all. The memory can only 90% no-go. What's we got? Ank's got some takes on stuff here. What do we got? The problem with currently popular algorithms is that their security relies on one of three hard mathematical problems: the integer factorization problem, the discrete logarithm problem, or the elliptical curve discrete logarithm problem. All of these problems can be easily solved on a sufficiently powerful quantum computer running Shor's algorithm.
Yep.
Thank you, Ank. Hello, first time here, and I'm not disappointed.
One of the ones I was talking about.
So Cyberdrill's saying that this is first time there, but they're not disappointed because it's a very McKay discussion. If you'll notice, McKay's not doing much talking. McKay's doing a lot of listening and going, really? Oh my God, it's like Wordle.
McKay had to learn it from somewhere.
They got to get it from somewhere. It's true. Ank is still going with the post. We'll do that again, right? Hey, V Lyrics, thank you very much. Crazy Night NDK, thank you very much. Greetings from Denmark again. I'm guessing that's what the DK stands for. Thank you very much for another subscription. Is Cal awake? Do we know if Cal's awake and up or not? You know, I stood her up the other day. Cal is here.
Cal's always awake.
Cal, it's true.
No,
Cal never
awake.
sleeps.
Yeah.
For Cal never sleeps. You know, I stood her up
Especially
the
on
other
her
day.
birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday
You
today?
stood up,
Oh my
Cal?
God! Happy birthday, Cal! I stood Cal
Happy
up.
birthday, Cal.
Don't stand Cal up.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I totally stood up, Cal.
Cal's very impressed with the birthday.
I think it's because Cal stood me up. That's probably why I did it. It was like without even meaning to. I just did it on. I did it like without. It was like a passive aggressive thing, I think. But we're gonna talk next Monday apparently, instead of every other Monday.
Cal, I'm reading the chat. Just tell me where to slap him.
It's at. Oh, she's coming for you. That's
She's not coming
oh,
for
yeah.
me.
No, that's it.
We're buddies now.
You're gonna be banned. You wait. You watch. Next time you're gonna all of a sudden you're gonna come back and you'll be like, hey, why can't I get into the
I
chat?
can't get into anything.
All right. You guys are in so much trouble with Cal now. It's true, Hank. Very, very true. Cal didn't even like. How many dots is that?
One too many is what it is.
4, 5. There's 6 of them. That's like 2, 3. That's two double. That's 2 triple dots. It's not a good
crap.
sign. Anyways, happy birthday, Cal. So.
Or the next time you multiply them, is that like 9?
You know,
9.
do you know when it actually is?
What?
Cal's birthday.
Not a clue. No,
You
not a
should
clue.
figure that out.
No, I know I should. I did
Because
at
the
one
day
point.
you forget to do it.
I did know. I think I missed it.
Yeah, okay.
I think I missed her birthday. Gippy G, I think they finally are ripping the roof off my home today, so progress. Still waiting is more difficult. I haven't had a proper bath since October. We don't need to know these things, Gippy G, but okay.
Gimpy,
And
we
that
got
makes
a
me a-
water hose right off
makes
back.
me a- That's right. Hose them down. Hose down, Gippy G. Gippy G, are we streaming tomorrow? I'm assuming you're on for our midweek mayhem magic madness. I'm hoping that's the case. If not, let me know, because then I'm gonna be a tourist with Alan over here. All right, let's talk electric vehicles.
Electric vehicles.
So Baz wants me to get a Tesla.
We don't even use a car that much.
We never use a car. We never do. But I'm thinking that if we did have one and it was like fun and you could play Space Invaders on it, that maybe I would use it.
Saying play Space Invaders on it is not a very good way to get Jack to agree with you on getting a Tesla.
It's not
What,
a reason,
you don't think
it's not
so?
a reason to buy a
It
car.
sounds like a gimmick.
It sounds like a gimmick. What are you talking about? Isn't it like an essential part of any vehicle? No.
Wait, Jack, didn't you write an essay on Elon Musk?
Did
I
you?
did write. an
Did you
essay
read his
on-
biography?
No, I didn't.
I'm listening to it right now.
Was
I
it
wrote
before
it wasn't
or
an
after he
essay, it was
started
more
saying
like an
crazy
article
things?
on Elon
He
Musk.
sounds a bit whiny.
He's doing crazy stuff now. I don't know.
What happened to him? I feel like he got stoned once and then his brain collapsed or something. It's like, you know what I mean? Like he's like suddenly got into like this whole pot thing and then he starts just spouting nonsense. I mean,
I don't know.
His brain's always been.
is it always been like that?
Probably.
Really?
Maybe.
Um,
Who knows?
you know that LordChunky has a picture of Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, sorry.
As his,
I meant to say
That's
LordChunky.
his thing on Discord.
Isn't that,
I know. It creeps me out every time
isn't
I see
that
it.
kind of weird? I know it's like it's looking into my soul.
It's like I'm talking to Zuck.
Yeah, it is. It's got like a Zuck. He's got a Zuck vibe happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a chat last night, so I'm going to make you repeat a bit of it, Alan. But we were talking about about electric vehicles, and I was saying,
So
do
Baz
we-
was trying to talk him into getting a Tesla.
and I was saying, do we need to get a Tesla? Like, could we get a cheaper
Yeah.
I get a
electric?
cheaper EV, yeah.
And then I was like, how often do you need to travel more than say 300, 400K round trip?
Like, never until we have to.
Right.
Right. I mean, like it's like so this
The
summer
thing is that we'd only use a car to do those round trips.
we would
No,
only
no, no.
use-
So you
like-
can get an electric vehicle
right.
that you're not worried about the charging network so much.
Yes,
That's the
for the
difference.
most part, we are not worried about the charging network.
Right.
For the most part, but then every so often we'd want to be able to leap in a car and go far if we
Yeah.
wanted to.
And if Jane likes the Volkswagen, then get the Volkswagen.
No, they're dead to me
What? Really?
because they lied about their emissions.
But these are cars that have no engines.
Electric
I know, but it doesn't matter to me. They still ripped
Wait.
off the world.
Chips, did you write a thing on Volkswagen, or am I thinking of something else?
Who
Did,
wrote a thing
did
about
Bag
What
of
was
Chips
it?
do a thing on Volkswagen?
Is Chip still here?
Didn't he do like a thing on Volkswagen? He wasn't allowed to mention Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did a thing
yeah.
on Volkswagen.
But-
Okay, I was
Yeah,
thinking, yeah.
But is it true that you wrote an article on Volkswagen, but you weren't allowed to mention that Hitler was?
Well, I was allowed to, but the teacher said that I have to like make a whole other part on how.
It's
that
like,
was
yeah,
also
you'd have to
on
make
all
like a
the-
TW.
It was
whatever
too much work.
You have to
It was too much
have to
work
do,
to
like-
add the Second
You have
World
to do
War.
like a trigger warning
I
about
still
it.
I
and
have to
stuff
make
like
a
that.
separate project on how that was also unethical. If I- if I-
Really? That's what she
Wow.
said? Oh,
'Cause
I wasn't
didn't
there
they
for that. I was
use-
just there when she said that it would
Yeah.
be like worrying about to
'Cause
write
didn't
it
they
down.
So
use
it was
Jewish
either-
labor
it was either
camp?
I just do the emissions part and don't mention that, or I do them both as like separate projects.
Right.
Oh
It's-
wow.
That's
So wait a second. So your
weird.
choice was either to talk about it and have to do twice the work,
So
or
you-
not talk about it and
okay.
do just.
Half the work.
Wow.
Yes.
That seems counter-educational somehow. But yeah, it just seems crazy enough to be able to talk about sorry, their project. Just to be clear, the project was that they had to do a thing about like companies that had screwed up, like Baz did. Who was it? What did you do?
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
I did Blizzard.
Did Blizzard and all their like male.
I
toxicity-
forgot that. Thank you.
Their male toxicity stuff.
So was
and,
that an article on Dieselgate that they did?
and they did well. So did you do Dieselgate? Was it the Diesel one that you talked about with VW?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sweet.
All right. So what did you find out? So you can tell me how much I hate them.
I found out the way they like deceive people is by during the tests they had a system inside the engine to make
Yeah.
the engine run lower than normal performance to make it seem like it doesn't emit as much fumes. And then
Right,
what
but
happens
only
on the
when it
road-
was being tested, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
Only
detect
when
if it was
it
like
was
in a
That way
lab
to
setting or
detect
something.
and test it.
So like, there's no way they by accident did anything.
Oh no, it was
Yeah.
very specifically tuned
No.
for the test.
Oh
Pushed harder
man.
just for testing.
And what do you remember what the repercussions were? Did they get nailed at all?
Oh,
The bag of
yeah.
chips?
All the
Multi-billion
vehicles that were
Yeah.
that like this were recalled, we had to like repair them and like change the thing and like
They had to
pay,
do a
like, billions of
lot.
dollars and stuff.
They did massive buybacks.
Really?
That was a huge mistake.
Damn
on
it, they
their
could've
part
bought
for
back
doing
ours.
that. I mean, not like
They would've.
maybe it made them some extra bank in the like meanwhile, but that
2
was a
months.
But
huge
so they
mistake.
actively worked against emissions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why
They
would
probably
I want,
took
why
more
would I buy a car
times
from them?
resolving like
They apologized.
what
Oh,
they
they
did
apologized.
than like than actually just trying to get it so that it
They
like,
apologized.
emits-
Really? So, but do you think a company, is it fair to do that to a company? Like, am I just being an idiot for not wanting to buy a VW car now?
Not really.
No.
I mean, you did the project.
It's
What do you think,
purely
Bag of
just-
Chips? Would you buy a VW now?
Have one because we got
You have one?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost him.
They found him.
He
His
muted.
parents
He,
had one.
VW got him.
yeah.
He doesn't personally own a Volkswagen.
yes,
Like,
sorry. We
they-
got,
like,
we got
they
it
have-
before the scandal came out to light.
Oh, okay. So before the scandal came out, you had a
Oh wait,
VW.
did you get one of the cars that they did have the false emissions for?
I have no idea.
I don't. Is
Oh,
it,
alright.
Well,
Well,
here's
if
the
it's a
question:
diesel.
Was it a diesel?
I do not know.
No.
We don't.
it's
For some
not.
reason, diesels. There aren't a lot of diesels here.
No, so
They were bigger in England. Oh, I know they were big in England. They were bigger in England because apparently the emissions are better. As it turns out, and it turns out that's the yeah. Okay, so all right. So
I mean, they're under more of a microscope now.
so you think they'd be even better now?
I mean,
As you
yes.
say, they're electric, so I don't know what kind of emissions. You
Also,
know.
there are no emissions from the electric.
But who
once-
knows?
once
But
it's
maybe
built-
they're. But what if they're tossing? What if they're having baby seals eat the batteries after they
That's how
run
make
out
the
of?
batteries.
You know what I mean? Like what other evil things could they be doing?
I don't know.
Well, batteries are often like sourced from child labor, often because like
Seriously?
that's where like
lithium
all
mining.
like lithium and cobalt. it's
Cobalt
all
mining
like
specifically.
Oh, of course. We
Like,
did a whole thing on that
comes
with
like
Techbandits.
Democrat-
Remember those
yeah.
little
Republic of Congo. And
Yeah.
Like, of
They're
that, like 20% of the stuff is
Oh
monochildren.
crap!
They're trying to make battery chemistries that don't rely on cobalt anymore.
Because it's like poor kids living above like little open pit mines pulling cobalt
basically,
out.
yeah.
Great. So, well, that's the end of electric vehicles then. So you're a jerk, Alan, for driving a Tesla. Is that what we're saying?
I don't know.
But the idea is
Yeah.
to save the planet. But you're saying that there's a chance we may not be saving the planet.
I didn't get them to save the planet.
Well, the carbon emissions are
You
better.
shouldn't say that. You should say that you're
I
trying to save
didn't
the
get them to
planet.
save the planet.
That's what all the cool people say.
That
They say
wasn't my
that.
motivation.
They're like, that's what Leonardo DiCaprio says he's trying to save the planet.
My motivation was I wanted to pay less on gas.
That's what all the people that don't research much about electric vehicles say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's a good point though. So less on gas.
Yeah.
That's
Less-
I like
less on
that.
gas.
No,
I
I'm
want,
saying like
you know-
to not. I mean to save the planet. is
Yes,
what they-
exactly.
Right.
Not
They
not
still
what
do have lower carbon emissions.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Less,
Yeah.
less on gas. It's I'm a person that worked on his car for his whole life, always fixing his own car or whatever.
Right.
And I have barely had to do anything to I have two of them, one for my wife, and we've done barely any maintenance.
Does that disappoint you though? Does you kind of want to get under the hood? Well, you did get under the hood. You rooted your Tesla.
So my
He's got root access to his Tesla.
my Model S I rooted, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get kicked off the supercharging for that, or?
No, quite the other way around.
Only if I announce it on stream.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah. No, they're fine with that, aren't they?
No, I mean the car came with unlimited supercharging anyway.
Okay, there you go. See?
Okay.
The
I
cars
was
that
you can get
the, car,
banned from supercharging.
the cars that kick off of the superchargers are the ones that are salvage title cars.
That are what?
They get been in an accident.
Oh, really? They're not allowed to do those.
Right.
For fear they might ignite in the.
If they've been in an accident to the point where they were totaled.
Oh, okay. It's one of the things I love. The fallacies about electric vehicles is they always show like Teslas on fire, like gasoline doesn't explode. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's that weird thing of like sort of like, oh my god, look, sometimes those cars just explode. It's like we're driving around in vehicles full of gasoline. Like,
Yeah.
what?
So, I mean, we got the first one because my wife was doing a whole bunch of driving,
Yeah.
and we were just taking in the shorts on gas.
And you were saying
And that's in 2018. We were taking in the shorts on gas,
right.
right?
I've never heard that term taking in the shorts.
Well,
but
because
I think,
I'm trying to
I'm
be
trying not to use
PC for the stream.
no, that's good. That's great. Yeah. Right.
So, and it's even worse now,
right.
right? So if you're doing a whole bunch of driving now, gas prices are even nutty.
Oh no, it's insane. It's
Right.
insane. Yeah.
But even back then, 2018, it just made more sense to switch to that for her because she was driving like 200 miles a day. or
And
something.
why did you go with the Tesla? You were originally using the
It was
Volt,
Chevy Volt.
the Chevy Volt, which I heard great things about.
Yeah, a great car. But if you're doing more than like say 40 or 50 miles,
Mm.
then the gas engine has to kick on,
All right.
and you're still using gas,
Okay.
and it still costs money,
All right. Okay.
right? So
All
you can charge up every night for 40-ish miles worth of that range.
Right.
But
So it's still better, but
it
it's
was
still
better, but most of her round trip was gas,
Okay.
so it wasn't enough, right?
And
So
you didn't think it was worth getting another hybrid one, like because they got a lot of these like plug-in
Well,
hybrids.
no, because that car was already getting 50 miles to the gallon, so you're only going to get a little bit better.
Right.
The only real answer is just to get the much bigger battery and just so you're just nothing but battery.
Right. Okay.
Right.
And you chose Tesla because you were saying that it's for any kind of long distance, it's got a longer charge and it's got a much better. I hadn't even thought of this. The Tesla
Especially
charging
at the time.
network.
The charging network's better.
Yeah, at the time when we got that car, the charging network wasn't even fully fleshed out. Like
Right.
you could still travel cross country, but it was tricky,
Right.
right? Now there's chargers all over the place and it's ridiculous. But back then there weren't that many chargers. I wasn't so worried about that. Like at that time, that was the cheapest car you can get with like the most range.
Huh.
So we figured it out, and like per round trip, even though she was driving several hours per day,
Mm.
she never had to stop.
Right.
She just charged every night at the house.
If she remembered.
If as long as she did. One
Yeah.
time she
There's
didn't
one time
remember.
she forgot. and I
One
was
time she
teasing her
forgot,
about it.
and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sometimes that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so really it wasn't like trying to save the planet necessarily. It was just like, hey, I'm paying a lot of money on gasoline,
Mm.
and this is just cheaper.
Now,
Right.
but is it cheaper, given how expensive the cars are? Is it cheaper even with the expense of the car?
When you consider between the power cost / gasoline,
Hmm.
and then you also add in maintenance, which it really
Which
does
is
look like there's just a
insane.
lot less maintenance on
Yeah, yeah,
on those
yeah,
cars,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I
Granted,
guess
we-
you still have tires and stuff, but
There's still we bought tires once,
really,
and it's like 82,000 miles.
really,
Yeah.
wow,
Now, granted, if you drive it like a maniac, you're going to change tires
right.
more frequently. Like I've already
No,
had
I
to
drive
change
like an
tires.
old man.
I've already had to change tires twice on mine, and I've only gone like 50,000 miles.
All right, so I would not have that problem. Well, no, I would have that problem because Jane would be driving. And
But
she's
that's
fast
because
and fast.
mine does, the ludicrous speed craziness.
Right,
Yeah,
of course.
it's
You've
just-
got ludicrous.
It's just nutty.
I need
Yeah.
just old man's phase. I just want I want one that when it starts seeing brake lights, it starts slowing down. I want to. Yeah, that's what I need.
Because right now, also Hyundai has like some great electric cars
Oh, really?
that have range. I assume would be like good, like plenty for going around the city.
Yeah.
But then the charging network. How do you charge them?
There's plenty of chargers that like have like the wide support.
Really?
There are chargers.
Are there-
The trick is that there's not the communication isn't as good.
He raised a really good point that apparently you could be like, oh, thank God I found a charger, and then get in and it's like the charger doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas with Tesla,
you know,
it'll tell you.
And it's kind of like this. There's a bunch of different charging networks, and they all have their own company behind them, and they're you have to have like an account on different ones and everything, and like that is one of the things that Tesla really seems to be doing way better, right? Because your credit card's associated with your Tesla account, and it just charges it. We literally, when we were driving here, we pull up to a supercharger, you get out, you plug it in, that's it, you go get some food.
Yeah, he was saying
Like-
you didn't have time to eat.
There's no, there's no, you don't even hit a button.
Hmm.
Like there's nothing to hit. You just open the charge door and you plug the thing in and you walk away. It already starts and
That's so cool.
yeah.
So Digital Senior Tech was talking about the Kia. I was looking at the Kia actually. I thought the Kia was kind of they've got a nice looking plug-in hybrid as well. But you're saying that the electric vehicle, the purely electric vehicles have better range, right? Thank you, dog. I was like, why is LordChunky sticking his hand under my shirt? It turns out it was the dog.
The purely electric ones have better range better electric range because you don't need room for an engine.
Of course, the hybrids, you've got the weight of the engine
There's
as
just
well.
extra, yeah, and you're driving
And
the way
all
around.
the complication of having both of the systems.
Yes.
Okay, I'm out. All right, so we're going full electric, and we're going to buy a Tesla. What do they cost now?
Oh,
Well,
they're
you know what's
expensive.
better than
Aren't they like a
Tesla?
hundred?
Everything's
For the
expensive right
environment.
now.
Aren't they
You
like
really
100
shouldn't
grand?
buy a car right now.
No, I don't want to buy a car right now.
Like it doesn't matter what car.
It's a bad time to buy anything right now.
Like I also
Yeah.
just feel like I don't know. Maybe if you were to start using a car more, but like
I just want.
if you only use it like
Yeah, and you don't
once
use it
a month,
enough.
I was saying to Baz, could we?
Like that would just be worse.
Could
'Cause,
you
like,
get an electric, like one of those little electric mopeds, and then tape two of them together and put a little cart on the back, and that's all I need.
Oh yeah, Dad, don't you want one of those electric bikes that has 4 wheels and can carry stuff?
Exactly, as Baz called it, a car. Yeah, that was. We were cracking each other up last night because I've invented something. It's brilliant. We'll take 2 electric vehicles. I'll tape them together. I put a little thing on the back like a pickup truck, and then we've got and Baz is like a car.
Yeah, a car. An EV.
But that's what I want. I don't want anything that I like. Yes, I would like a vehicle. I would love to have a Tesla and stuff, but I think I
I
need
want
a
a bike.
couple more Stargates. You want a bike?
That's what I want. I want a bike. I'm gonna go
Sure, a
refund my old bike and see if I can get
A
Like a-
bicycle?
like an
money
electric
for
bike?
it to buy a bike.
They got like an electric
Sorry,
bike
I'm
or
not a motorbike. A like a
car.
a bike.
like
a bicycle.
like a pedal bike, like
a pedal bike? Okay, got
Like
it.
a pedal
So-
bike. Yes,
Okay,
a
so
pedal
my
bike.
neighbor,
Do you want like
my
a
neighbor across the
mountain
street,
bike that's
got regular bicycle.
Yeah.
And then did an electric conversion
Oh,
yeah, you can
and replaced one of the wheels with like a
Ooh,
hub,
or one of those
like a hub
electric
motor.
bikes that has the motors.
isn't that kind of kludgy though? Wouldn't I just to
It
buy
was,
one?
it
that's-
was very seamless. He puts a little handle on it that goes like a motorcycle.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just I rode it around. It was really fast.
I mean, I wondered about that, except I'd probably die. I mean, I used to drive motorcycles all the time, but as I told you, I fell asleep on
I
it.
felt
So,
I used to bike around plenty, and I definitely felt like I could kill myself on that thing
really.
because it was if you wanted it to go fast, it
You
really
know,
went fast.
you know what I'm convinced people are going to kill themselves on? Have you seen all the guys motoring around on the scooters, the electric
Oh
scooters?
yeah.
And no helmets, no nothing. Oh my god, I sound so old. But I think someone's going to kill
Or
themselves.
the
on that
one
thing.
wheels.
Oh, I know the one wheels. The one wheels look kind of stupid, but at the same time kind of cool. At the same time.
Yeah,
Is
if only
that-
they could figure out the right to repair thing.
Oh, they can't
at the
repair
same
them.
time twice.
The new one wheels, they've locked them down. Like if you disconnect the battery, it bricks it.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're being silly.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I wondered about pulling apart a couple of hoverboards because I thought that'd be kind of fun as a robotic base. You know what I mean? Like have it controlled by because a lot of them you can actually control with a with Bluetooth or whatever.
Little remote thing.
And a remote control, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right, okay. So electric vehicles. What are the alternatives though? Like, are there any sort of planet-saving alternatives that are better? Like, have we
smaller
not
battery.
driving is like so much better. Public transit is like infinitely better than driving a car.
Damn it!
Yeah.
You really are. What are you, 1,000 years old? You sound like my grandparents.
Well, especially since there's a thing that drops you off right down the street here.
I know. No, I use it all the time, but I'm
Subway
just
station.
surprised that Lord Chunky sounds like me talking about well, it's a perfectly good streetcar.
Toronto,
Yeah.
subway station.
It's great. No, I love
I'm
it.
with you that like public transport is much better. I just mean like I don't really need I don't want a car all that much. I think it'd be cool if we had a Tesla.
Mm.
But yeah.
I think if you could become a really famous YouTube influencer,
There you go.
I'd be totally fine with you getting a Tesla.
There you go, Baz.
Oh, wow, Dad.
Would that be a problem?
Thank you for your approval. So if I get famous,
Yeah.
Nope.
you'd allow me to buy a Tesla.
I don't want you to
Thank
be famous. I just want you to make lots of money.
Baz, if you get famous, he will allow you to buy him a Tesla.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, all right, that
'Cause
makes.
don't you want to be able to say like, ah, yeah, so I bought my dad a Tesla, and then everyone
Yeah.
goes like, oh my god, what a great guy.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. I really think you should do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. What happens if people go like, "Oh yeah, I bought my son a Tesla"? Then they'd be like, "Oh my god, what a great guy."
No, then they go like, what a
So-
spoiled little brat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what you little weasel. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh god, they wouldn't mind.
What about? Oh my gosh, I bought my son's friend. a
Darling.
Tesla.
Darling.
Oh,
man.
yeah, that's smart as
Oh,
well,
that's
How
good.
about, oh my god, I
What
bought
a-
my son
what
and
a
my
random.
son's friends.
That's like
and
Mr.
friends,
Beast
plural,
random.
plural
Like,
friends, a Tesla.
Games on it.
That'd be, wow, that is a good
And
idea.
it's like the Tech Bandit, and you can
a
like,
Tech Bandit mobile. Oh
So how
my
about
god.
like 5 Teslas, Dad?
Okay, what do we think about the
each of
Cybertruck?
me
That's
and
what
my
I want.
If it ever comes
I
out.
want the Cybertruck.
It'll come out in like 3 years.
You know there's a Rivian around here. Have you seen
Like
that?
20
Rivian?
years.
There's a Rivian.
Rivian.
Mm, and there's a
Rivian.
There's a Rivian as well.
Yes.
I personally like the Rivian, but the Rivian
There's
is
an
the one
extra
that
I
is
in the
very
name.
near.
Yeah.
But that they only made like they were struggling to get like 70 of those things out, weren't they? Some guy was on a waiting list for like
2000 now.
for years.
Yeah. There was a
Um,
waiting list.
And then there's the Ford 150 Lightning.
Yep.
Which I've got to say,
Four.
it's just for some reason the worst drivers on the road are all the 150 drivers for some reason. And whenever I hear a crunch
They got
of someone trying to park, it's someone trying to park a Ford 150. But I gotta say, the idea of an electric pickup truck that's like a kick-ass electric pickup truck, it's kind of
Until
Mad
you try
Max
and
cool to
drive
me.
it downtown.
But not downtown. Yeah, that's true.
It drive like just a large vehicle downtown.
It's just ridiculous. No, I know.
Well, you know, since
You gotta
Baz is
park
going to
it,
get internet famous and have all the money, he should just get you a Lucid Air.
What's that?
It's like a even sportier version of a Tesla.
Really?
Tesla Roadster, maybe.
Have you seen the all-electric solar one? They've got a new solar vehicle out now. That.
Well, sure, if you want to charge like 20 miles a day.
Well, no, but you can do the other one as well. Oh, right. I forgot. You don't care about the planet. You just care about yourself. No, there's a solar. It apparently has a solar array, so it's constantly charging. I'm guessing it's more for California than the odd sun we get here. But that just seems to make sense to me. When I go to California, I'm always shocked that not every surface on the freaking in the
Right.
state isn't covered in freaking solar panels.
Right.
I mean, just
Yeah, it's like
Um,
just going to waste,
I don't know.
hitting the ground.
Yeah. Do you have any panels or anything in your place?
I want to. I
Yeah,
just
me
haven't done
too.
it.
Have you seen the Tesla panels?
Well, the Tesla roof.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, but it's like expensive.
It's great, but it's like buying another
and you
house
can't-
to
and
put
you
on
can't-
top of your house.
Yeah, and we had a hurricane, not a hurricane,
Ooh.
but like a tornado almost touched down near us like a few years back. So
You don't want to lose.
I had to replace the roof anyway,
Yeah.
the shingles, and so that part's done. So now usually you want to have like newer shingles if you're going to put solar,
Yeah.
because you don't want to have to do it the other way around.
I'm toying. We looked into it, and we looked actually into the Tesla roof, but it was literally like the price
it's
of our
super
house.
expensive, and it's a really long wait and things like that.
And I just don't entirely trust it because he keeps announcing things that
Yeah.
Our Teslas are supposed to be driving around on their own right now.
Yeah, they're supposed
Ooh,
to.
a fully electric bus. Well, you know what? I did see a conversion for a VW bus that was converted to electric, which just looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about that? What about just are there any sort of DIY electric vehicles that you could
And
do?
there's the Aptera.
DIY electric vehicles. You want to like yourself make a electric vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the DIY stuff is just like done using Tesla parts.
Aptera is like a teardrop shaped thing. It's like super slippery going through the air.
Aptera.
Yeah.
Aptera.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Aptera
just
Motors.
second
I'm looking now. I'm looking now.
Second model, it just
Oh,
sits
Yeah, it's a trike.
that is
Like,
not
that's,
gonna do
that's
much.
like your idea.
That's like a bicycle. That's like what I
Exactly,
want.
It's like what you
Well,
want.
it's got solar panels.
What does it cost?
I mean, they're still working.
That is what I want.
I'm sure.
Reserve now.
Is it a car?
Yep, we're gonna reserve it.
Oh, there's your price.
Due
range.
today, $100, $25,000. That's not that bad.
Well,
I mean,
actually,
it's a
I'm sure
car.
by the time they like.
I just worried the wheels would fall off. I should show people. what I'm
No,
doing.
the
Look
wheel
at that.
shouldn't fall off.
I'm worrying about
I feel like there's no way they actually delivered at that price.
Big Me and Big Chrome.
I'm not sure what the. Looks like a weird ass fish. I don't
It
know.
looks like a
that
flying car that you would see in like a sci-fi movie from the 80s.
I would be embarrassed to have that anywhere near me.
I would get it if it would fly. If it could fly, I would get it.
That looks like one of those like spy cars that would change into like a boat or like a plane.
Yeah, it's like the stuff would come
like
over
the
and become
wheels
green.
like go
They
into
turn
the car.
backwards and then they turn like rockets and make you go
Yeah.
underwater in the submarine.
That looks like what it is. That looks so horrible.
I mean, if it could do that, I would get it. But like,
Seems like
if it
such a
can't-
waste of money. that holds like
God damn it. Bad day.
Oh my god. What the hell is that? That is not a car. I'm sorry. There's like two. Unless
Wait,
you
that
want to count.
exists now?
Yeah, you could buy it. No, you
Oh,
can
I thought that was
reserve
like.
one.
I thought that was like a. Oh, okay. So it doesn't exist now. It exists
Well,
almost.
it technically does.
It looks
it's just
like
not
a
released.
car from like a really creepy like a movie about like
What the
paradise
hell?
from like the 90s.
Yeah, it looks like a futuristic Midsommar car.
Like from The Giver or something. Like how everyone have that one car.
Yeah, it looks like a
cult car.
Yeah, it looks like Dad. You know
Like
that
every
one
house is the exact same.
that one
everything's
movie that we saw?
right?
That one new movie that we saw about the pills or like the drugs that may change your mood. What's it called, Mom? Dad, do you know Spiderhead? Do you know Spiderhead, Dad? Remember the movie we watched? It looks like the car that the main character in that would drive. Yes. All you need is like very small yellow people.
David. The sound on the stream is down. You can hear me, but you can't hear you talking. No, I'm the only one
Oh
that's
yeah,
talking
no,
here
you
right now.
must have muted your mic somehow.
There we go. No, I can just talk from my thing, and
Oh yeah.
there we go.
I go back to.
Oh, now that's a horrible echo.
Oh, Dave, that's put one of your like
How about
what
that?
your desk.
Oh, I do have an
I
echo.
do have an echo.
Kind of like.
Now there's an echo.
Oh, is it? Are you,
is it-
are you on speaker?
Yeah, you turn it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, like a good
I'll
echo.
stop that so it doesn't echo now.
Now can you hear
It
me?
sounds like
Can you hear me now? Did that work? Charlie Chaplin, David is cool. What? Charlie Chaplin, David is cool. Speak faster, speak slower, please. We can't read your lips that fast. Okay, so how, the echo is back. It's back working. I can hear you now. So it looks like Chrome. Is it Chrome's trying to take over?
No, I think your other preset didn't have the Logitech camera mic.
Oh, wait a second. So if I go to okay, let's try this then. So if I go back to me sharing Chrome.
Yeah, you're still silent.
That's not even being used.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
that was the.
Am I back now?
Now.
You turned on the video.
Now.
Was that it? I know, but that would be
Oh.
that should be sad as well, though. Right?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Oh.
Back? Yes.
It
Back.
works.
Okay.
That's weird.
So I need to do that, but I need to. So for some reason, I guess when you get rid of it, you also lose the
It was the audio too.
you lose the audio as well. That's weird. Okay, so that's the car we were talking about, and I was just saying some very funny things and very intelligent things.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
And then
very,
everyone
very-
laughed and was like, "Oh my God, David, you're so brilliant! I can't
They were
believe
so
you come up with
smart,
such
yes.
basic things."
Yes.
So that's
What do we call it? We call it the Despicable Me vehicle. That's what we call it because it looked like Despicable Me. Okay,
Automobile.
it was fantastic.
car
And we
for
laughed,
Spy
we
Kids.
cried, we had a little anger. So what? So what else?
David also agreed to buy me a computer.
Baz was saying
And
saying
Dave
how
also
great it
agreed to buy me
is.
a computer.
So what was that? What was you say?
Baz was saying how great the Aptera was.
Oh yeah, Baz loves this car.
Yes.
I really like
He's
it.
like, please can I have it? And Bag of Chips is dying to become a villain that drives around in a wobbly looking like flying car that doesn't have wings.
Dying to become Guru.
I mean, that does not make any sense
I
at
don't.
all
It's
to
Flying
me.
car, but like in the same way.
I could have driven here without stopping.
Yeah, but you know, where would Amy be? She'd be like having to run behind you because there's no room in the car for her.
No, there's a passenger seat.
Yeah, but it looks. I don't know how comfortable that would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Just as comfortable as the driver's seat.
like
You could, like,
literally.
pull
I
out
just
the
need a
tent and
freaking.
just sit
I
in
just
that
need a
while you're
golf cart.
driving.
I need a golf. I need an enclosed
Looks like a
golf cart.
dolphin.
You're complaining about that thing, but you're fine with
I
the
feel
golf
like
cart?
there should
No, but a golf
be
cart
should
at
be,
least
like,
looks like a
slightly
vehicle.
hovering over the ground.
Yeah.
What?
Come on, there's got to be like an electric golf
I'm sure
cart.
a
of
golf
some
cart
sort.
has a
Hovered?
coefficient of drag.
It doesn't hover.
No.
It's not even a hover. What about a hovercraft?
That's
That'd be
it.
fun.
Wait,
If you
what
drive that
is it?
fast enough, it might
Is
hover.
it just that the things
true.
on the sides are covering up the
Yeah,
wheels?
the thing is just covering up the wheels.
I think the first thing I
Okay.
would do if I got this
It looks
vehicle
like it,
is
like,
put
walks.
wings. Like literally, I think it's the first thing I would do is put wings on it. You know what I mean?
Imagine that in, like, Cars.
Yeah.
Like Cars 4.
that
Just
would be
that.
super weird.
That'd be...
Cars for
it'd be
electric
it'd be-
cars.
the fish in Cars.
You would.
Fish? What?
Sorry, what?
Like if
Oh!
there's fish in Cars, it'd be one of those.
If there were fish in cars, it's the
It would be
fish
a
of
fish.
cars. I see. Yes, it has a fish-like look to it. It's true. Maybe it was like inspired. They'll probably have something about how it's inspired by nature and it's giving back to the planet. I mean, maybe that's where it's going. Turn
Inspired by
slowly. What do we
dolphins,
got?
that's not a very
Needs
good
to get a
animal
sidecar.
to
It does
inspire
need a
by.
sidecar. That's so
I feel
true.
like it could be like a futuristic version of Finn McMissile from Cars 2.
Finn McMissile. There you go. Yes. Wait a second. It says that apparently
Wait,
they drove one on
you-
Leo's. No,
No,
Leo's.
Do you like
Leonard's
remember
Leonard's.
Finn McMissile by like name, or did you just search that up?
Name
I
Google.
just searched up his name. So
You literally looked up. You looked up Finn McMissile just to
Oh,
get.
guys, there's
yeah,
Cars
yeah.
2
That's
characters.
good.
I'm like,
You
yeah, I
could.
could.
Okay, what's
The
this?
spy guy,
Me
the spy
and-
guy.
what do we have? Is this one?
He'd be
I
like
love Cars 2.
That's one we
his-
have. Yeah.
his like electric version.
I want to
of,
look and
like,
see
his
what other
electric
vehicles are
counterpart.
there. There's the
Lucid
Rivian
Air.
and then there's the Rivian.
Rivian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just look at the Rivian.
And then
I'm gonna look at the Rivian. I
And a
don't.
droid, I agree. We could make
I mean,
it like a
that's a truck.
Star Wars like vehicle.
That might not fit in your garage.
Wow, look at it. It looks just like a mountain.
Probably
It's
said like huzzah and huzzah only.
me sharing Chrome. Now, we're not gonna lose it again. Tell me if we don't hear me. Let me know.
Your camera's still on.
Camera's still on, so it should be fine. Okay. So there you go. So it's a mountain that you can get that's
Yeah, right.
entirely battery powered.
Look how green that is.
What?
By the mountain?
Like,
No,
they even
no.
have a green like.
Does
Just
that
like-
turn into a car as well?
I feel like you should show the vehicle when
Mountain
you
car?
first show up at a car. There you go. Look
That's
at
a
that.
truck. That's not like a car.
But isn't that's what I want?
That's
That's
the,
a
you
pickup
said you
truck.
want a
That's a
golf
clear
I
cart.
don't think that's gonna
Oh,
fit in your
wait,
garage.
never mind.
Well, I'd like it. Yeah, that's true.
Clear.
I just
and
like the
invisible
idea
car.
of this vehicle. Starting at 67. Shouldn't they be
US
cheaper?
dollars.
Then you buy the Aptera.
I could buy two Apteras. I could buy three Apteras for the price of this one.
You could. Don't look up the
Not the
Lucid
high
Air.
end Apteras though.
70. The what?
The Lucid Air.
What's the Lucid Air?
Is expensive.
Oh, here we go.
Where we go? Lucid Luccid.
LUCID.
Oh,
Lucid
Luccid.
Motors. It just had it right there.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Done. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Amazing. Look at that.
Reserve your Lucid Air.
Okay, Lucid Airs. Here we go. Here we go, everybody. What's that? See, at least they put the car in the
They
front
show it
instead
to you
of
right away.
a mountain.
The car is that a rendering?
It's like a luxury. No, that's the car.
That's the car. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
ugly though.
No, that's kind of cool.
Isn't that
It's
ugly?
not supposed to be ugly.
It's
So you
gotta,
think-
it's gotta be efficient, right?
It looks
Looks
like a
better than
sedan.
a dolphin. The
Look-
minions.
Well, it looks
The
better than the
Minion
Minion
logo,
vehicle. It's
whatever
true. It's true.
Yeah.
Call it.
Yeah.
Finn
I like
McMissile
these
or
cars.
whatever.
And what? Okay, so what other vehicles are there out there? Let's go through all the electric vehicles. What do we got?
Oh, they got the
That's
That's
Volkswagen
like
one.
every
Oh,
single
VW.
electric
What's the
vehicle
Volkswagen?
on
Okay.
market.
VW. What's it called?
It's like the
ID3.
Golf E or
Oh,
something.
ID3.
How about the Google car? Is
The
that
E-Golf
electric?
is the older one.
Does
How about that one
Oh.
BMW car that's like
Is there
yeah,
actually a
looks you
Google?
like with a hand Florida
I like the
Control,
IDR.
whatever it's
Where's
called.
the-
Go to the ID family
What?
one and it should show
Okay,
you all.
that should show the okay. Accept.
I
accept
don't know. It
everything.
was like
Where's the one I want?
the BMW Vision. No.
I feel they should be better organized.
Oh yeah,
than this.
BMW has some.
You should look up the Volkswagen IDR.
Wait a second. How do I find the car? that I
No,
want?
he's not going to get an IDR.
He's
ID.
not gonna get an IDR.
What's an IDR?
Isn't that the Pikes Peak car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
U.S. model shown. What is this the electric one?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, that's the EU model, but I mean it looks similar.
I feel like they're not doing a really good job of selling me this.
You want that?
That's what I want.
That's what you want.
That's it right there. That's the one.
What the
I'm
hell
sold.
is that?
I'm sold. Look
Looks
at
like
that.
the Mystery Machine.
It's the it is the mystery machine. Oh my god, it's totally that. I'm there. Done. Where do I sign up? I'm totally done.
That's gonna be like when you can actually buy that.
It's like a morbidly obese transformer.
It
No,
is
it's
a
the Mystery Machine.
It is the
These
Mystery
people are like
Machine.
good clean
it
garbage.
is like a small it looks like it's like a it's the kind of van
No
that would
carbon
get like
emissions.
that would hurtle towards a US embassy.
sound like
you know,
Yoda.
like I mean it was like
Do?
it's got that.
Okay.
When you said the no carbon emissions, you said.
Oh my god, but how brilliant is that?
Carbon emissions
Only
goes
on
up.
Volk's kick? So you
That
have to,
sounds like Kermit.
so you can only get it by doing this?
You're like good at doing people's voices as long as it's not the
Why are they
person
showing
you're
me some
trying to do.
hippie with an iPad? I went explore
Because
our
who
new
else is
You
buying
just
that?
said Mystery Machine.
Like zoinks.
Zoinks! Oh my god, Scooby! Oh Scooby, we're almost out of battery power. Book an appointment. What is this?
Okay, who was that with the spot on freaking?
That's
Who is
that's
the-
bag
that
of
with the
chips.
what?
He's
Oh,
the,
that's
he's
bag of
going
chips.
into he wants to do voice acting. He should totally do it.
Dude, that was
Um,
great.
Yoinks! I can't even do it. Robbie, Robbie,
Rocky,
Robbie.
Rocky.
Wait a second, where is it? It's not on the list.
It's not out yet.
It's not out.
It's like a
But I
concept.
want it to be out now. Oh, for God's sake!
Paint
Still
it
buy
exactly
like
like
the old
the
Mystery Machine.
I would totally do that. I would absolutely get the
You
same
can
color.
retrofit
Ride
it.
around with
Did they?
me and Hazan
Well,
in the back.
retrofitting would be smart.
Yeah, you can retrofit
Okay,
the Mystery Machine.
Now me and
look that up
Hazan.
now.
It's my
Oh,
dog.
Here we go.
I
Okay,
don't have
so-
the IDR.
all right.
EV
IDR,
West.
IDR.
Oh.
You could be
well,
Fred.
Idris Elba is an
I
electric.
want to be Fred.
IDR
Idris
what?
Elba?
You have Volkswagen or you have
VW.
He's a
Another
car?
VW?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
just,
That's yeah, you should buy that.
it's like yeah.
Famous actor.
I think they're like
IDR.
pretty obtainable by the average
It's a
person.
car.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, that's perfect for
I
driving.
just
yeah.
speak acronyms.
Yeah, the groceries go in the front.
Car.
Yes, yes.
Um,
The groceries go in your lap.
is that an electric racing car?
Yes, it is.
That-
Pure
Oh,
electric racing car.
It set the record for Pikes Peak.
Did
That's
it?
pretty cool.
See, I didn't know what Pikes Peak was. I thought
It's
it was
like
I thought it was the guy from
race.
Star Trek.
And like
Right.
electric cars do well on it because like they don't have
it's
like.
just, will I get
as,
demonetized for showing this? Like, will Lego get mad at me?
It's not like
Look at that.
It's really fast.
Why would Lego get mad at you?
Ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. Lego
Well,
got mad at
it's
me
music
last time.
playing. There's music playing. That'd be done for.
That's true. What was that noise? Was that the car driving by?
I don't know.
Probably a car at my window. if you
Oh, was
heard
it? Okay, all right. That's a pretty beautiful looking car. It looks very light somehow. Okay, so now I want to figure out how to retrofit.
EV West.
Retrofit
Look up EV West.
EV West.
They make retrofit kits for
What kind of East
Volkswagen.
though? Okay, conversion kits. Oh my God, look at this. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Oh my God, a Carmen Ghia, an electric Carmen Ghia.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I've always wanted a Carmen Ghia.
There you go.
How much would that cost?
There's your EV.
$8,000. I could do
That
that.
must be a bit.
That's only for the parts to convert it.
That you also need the car.
Oh.
Yes,
That's
you need
right.
the car.
That in a car, and I'm sure a crap ton of labor.
Is there by
Is it
any
a-
chance a 1985 Toyota Trueno AE86?
I'm looking.
there?
I'm looking.
There's a bus.
There's a bus.
A Volkswagen bus.
There you go.
Oh my God, the Thing. My friend had a Thing. We loved it. It didn't have a fuel gauge.
Well,
He
it
just
wouldn't
drove
have
it
one.
until it ran
Oh,
out.
It wouldn't have one
Volkswagen
engine.
VW thing.
Oh.
Oh wow.
It didn't have a fuel gauge.
Okay, wait a second. So
Is he
you're
going,
telling
like-
me I could have one of those, convert it to electric,
Yeah,
but how do you charge it? Is it the same
you plug it in.
same charging system?
Well, I mean, you're not going to fast charge it.
Aren't I? Robbery?
No.
Oh my God, they do so many cool cars though. Like it's just, I'm surprised they don't do some. I gotta say, the Carmen Ghia. I almost bought a Carmen Ghia when I first went to LA because it was like someone was selling one for like $1,000.
See, you should have done it.
Should have done it. Yeah.
It'd be a pile of rust right now, but you should have done it.
An old Porsche. That's the problem with any of these old cars is they just don't last in Toronto because of the salt of the roads.
Yeah.
But the Thing, come on, the VW Thing should do it. Okay, well that is fascinating. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to do show notes at the end of this so we can see all the links that we've looked at.
Oh, we're going to put it all in.
What else did we talk about? Is there anything else we should put links to? We talked about PC stuff. I guess we should talk about the.
Yeah.
Well, who talked?
Oh,
who's
I'm
the?
just trying to like configure the PC that you're going to be buying.
I don't know what links you're gonna find with the. I can find you the video that explains the quantum computing for the. Actually, that was there's a good minute physics video on quantum computing, like cracking cryptography.
Computing.
Oh, I saw that video. That's
Minute. I love minute physics.
Minute physics. It's like a 20-minute physics video.
MIT Pro. Quantum computers explain. Is that the minute physics? That's Kurzgesagt. Come on, they're the best.
Maybe that's the one.
They're so good because
No,
they're.
there's a really long one.
I'll look at new tab. Okay.
Yes, there.
There you go. Done. Opening a new tab.
17 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, so see, everything feels like a really long time because we're
But it was
our
minute physics.
attention span. Yeah, that's not a minute. Okay, so all right, so we'll have to look at that too. I have to look at those too.
Yeah.
It won't make any sense to me. These guys, you know these guys, right?
Who is it?
Kurzgesagt.
Oh, no.
really.
Kurzgesagt are amazing, absolutely amazing.
Okay. I'll
Um,
check it out.
and they're and James Gurney is one of the people who helps them out with getting the videos. Right?
I will look at the show notes and watch.
Oh
them.
yes, I'll get. Did I do show notes for last?
I don't
week?
know.
I don't think I did. I don't think I did last week's show notes.
You
Anyways,
probably haven't hit send yet on them.
probably not. Actually, you know what? I probably haven't. Okay. VW minivan, yes. Has anyone else got any examples? What is it? Aptera has a CV of. What does that mean? What is Aptera has a CV of 0.13?
The drag coefficient.
Oh, I see.
It's how slippery the shape is.
Yeah, and I feel like but it feels like I'm gonna, I'm gonna crash it.
Yeah.
It's gonna I feel like it's gonna get blown off the highway or something. It does look. Oh God, it looks like it reminds you of the bad scooter race in Star Wars.
Pod racing.
Oh my God. Yeah. No. Before that. No, this is the new one. This is the bad.
The
bad
newer
Mandalorian thing.
bad
No, the
scooter.
bad. Was it Mandalorian or was it the?
The little gang.
Yeah, that lame gang. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else got any other electric vehicles we should know about? Come on, what do you got?
Before I take them and stick them in mine and just drive them.
Oh, before I go check out the Tesla. That's right. Yeah. Oh, what's happening? You gonna pick up Amy?
Yeah, we need to go get Amy.
Well, go. Don't let us wait. I'm gonna get in the car with you tomorrow, anyways.
Okay.
Don't wait. Don't let the poor woman stay for that. It's just gonna be rush hour traffic anyways. We're gonna be like, all you're gonna be testing is the auto distance feature.
I love distance. You coming?
No, I gotta go.
Oh.
Where you gotta go? You gotta go too?
Dinner with family.
Oh, damn it.
He's got places to be.
All right, but you're driving. You're gonna drive to the science center tomorrow, right?
Actually, I think she's resting right now, so I've got to figure out.
You got time? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I'll see.
All right. So what else? Has anyone else got any other electric vehicles we should be talking about? I'll tell you what I looked at. We should get some. People will enjoy this, I think. All right. Let me go back. Let me go and do this for a second. I don't like to look things up while it's live, just in case.
It shows all his porn history.
Yeah, which is my 40 series in the RIM pager.
Yeah.
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 Do you know? You don't even know what the RM is, do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Research in Motion. It was the original. I had the original RIM pager, and I was thinking it'd be kind of fun to pick up one if it wasn't expensive. They don't exist anymore. They're not even around anymore.
Is this all the set crap on this chair?
Yeah. That's it. That's the chair. That's the Stargate chair.
Okay.
So there used to be, I don't know what they put in there. I don't remember. But it must have been like one of the little iPads or a little iPod or something. But yeah, I had the pneumatic stuff working.
Is this supposed to be ancient writing on it?
It was too powerful. It would flick.
Look, it's supposed to be ancient.
Yeah, that is ancient. Yeah, or Alteran, I believe is the term.
Oh.
All right, what do we got? I was looking up golf carts. Golf carts.
Where was I?
But it was road carts. Road legal golf carts. Check this out. Check these out. I think it was this one. Here you go. I found my vehicle right here. If I can't get
that's fine.
If I can't get the VW,
Listen,
the bug.
When we pulled into town, the first thing we saw at an intersection was like a set of 4 ATVs.
Right.
So if you can drive those around on the street over here.
But wouldn't that be amazing? Like, that's all I need. A 4-seater, it's perfect.
Sure.
Does it have doors?
I don't know.
I think
That
I
would
might
be
need
handy
doors.
if you're going to go on the highway.
It's going to be really freaking cold in the winter, is all I can say. But doesn't that make sense just for getting around town? And parking, you could park like,
It's straight in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the vehicles they have at the airport.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like an airport vehicle. They must have like, oh look, street legal golf cart, street legal cart. Does it have something with? Oh look at that! Like you can go sand dude buggy stuff with it. And there you go. That's what I need right there. The golf cart. The true golf
6
cart.
passengers.
So there's a gem.
Gem versus golf cart.
Okay, all right. Oh.
Oh, it's a stretch limo.
So this is what you do: is you get this one with 4 seats, and then take that out, and you've got yourself your cargo bay, right?
Or there's still like a
Okay.
truck thing on the back.
And then, what do they cost? Want to find out? I think the 4-seater.
I think you have to ask them how much it costs.
Oh, really? I hate it when they do that. Oh no, they got a price. $23,000. Start again.
That is not for the 6-seater.
You don't think so?
Oh wait, it says Jim E6.
Maybe.
Oh, that is the 6-seater.
Panoramic sky roof.
So what's
Really?
That big piece of
Look, it's just like your Tesla. It's like your Tesla with the big.
It
thing.
maxes out at 30. Scroll down a little. It maxes out at 35 miles an hour.
You could get that around most places in the city. No,
Pretty
go around the
well.
garden.
You just couldn't go on the Don Valley Parkway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think I could drive in the cycling lane? Probably not.
It's plowing over all the cycles. Here.
Does the smaller one go faster? Do you think? I mean, if I did the cruiser, maybe
Well,
the
no,
cruiser would
the
go.
limit is the legal limit.
Ah.
You're only allowed to go 35.
Legal to drive on roads posted up to 35.
Oh, never mind. So you can't go on other
to-
things.
I see. So 50 kilometers I can go on. Anything else, I'm in trouble.
Like you're not allowed to go.
I wonder how fast it goes, though. Like, I wonder what its actual
Probably
speeds.
not much.
Probably
more
goes
than-
slower than that, actually.
Really? Look at that! Come on! Couldn't you see me driving around in that?
No,
Beep,
no,
beep.
actually.
No.
Come on!
No.
Oh my god,
Totally.
that's
Maybe a
horrible.
2-seater version. I can see what
Not
the
to
2-seater
exceed 15 miles per hour. Oh my god. Okay, so it might not be my. It'd be great for getting around the neighborhood, along with the other scooters with the elderly. It looks like an elderly scooter, is what it is.
Well, does it say the range?
Range?
If it doesn't say it, then you know it's not a good answer.
Do we see a range?
I don't see a range anywhere.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of
It
range.
doesn't look like it has a big battery.
Oh, with a range of about 48 kilometers.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
okay.
Now, but keep in mind that if it's only able to travel at 24,
That's a good couple
that's
hours
a
of
good
range.
2 hours of range.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So literally, it's 2 hours.
You gotta go slow, but
Okay, so this is probably not my vehicle of choice. But the kits, those kits that you showed me, whoever they were, is it these ones? Yes. What is it? Does it show you how they do them on this
It's
thing?
like some sort of instructions, but I'm sure you
well,
don't get much.
so they do retrofits, and then they also sell like kits.
Technical support. I bet you get a few calls. Oh, they got a YouTube channel. Ba, ba, ba.
I'm sure it's like complicated enough that you could not do it alone.
Come on.
No, you could do it.
I can
Do it
break
alone?
anything.
I think you
Um,
have to like remove an
If you
engine.
know how to
That's, like,
rebuild,
actually-
if you know how to rebuild a car. then
Yeah,
you can
which
do it.
you know
I'm
I-
talking dated.
Exactly. Thank you. What if you bought the kit and just built it from scratch?
Well, you still gotta get the car.
Look at that. Like, that is literally. Can you imagine me just doing wheelies in the parking lot like that? I'm in. That's what I need. That's it. Any of these kits, that's what I want a kit now. That's it. I've decided.
Oh boy,
It's just a kit.
that's gonna
Look
mean
at that.
I'm gonna have to come up again just to help install. those
Yeah,
things.
no, I'll come down. No, what I'll do is I'll come down and we can build it in all your equipment. Then I'll
I
just
have a
drive it
lift.
back up. Then I'll drive it back up.
I have the lift in my garage.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you've got the equipment. I don't have any of this stuff.
There you go.
And we're like, help, I've crushed myself in the car. Gotta let me out. Look at that. Tesla swapped VW thing. Like, that is beautiful. That vehicle is do you know the VW
I know
thing?
what a thing
yeah,
is.
Yeah. Have you seen these things?
No.
Literally,
But
those things.
maybe ignore the man. Maybe ignore the man in the front. But it's like an old Jeep type thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a Volkswagen Jeep.
And then what kind of range would you have on it? What do you think it'll say?
Depends on how much battery they put in it.
Oh, right, of course. So you can choose your. Is this the one where you can choose your range?
The battery is like the most expensive part.
And are they using the same kind of Tesla batteries?
They can.
Because the brilliance of the Tesla thing was they're basically just those little
Module.
tiny cells, right?
Well, but they come in modules that are.
No, but I mean, they thought
yeah.
they thought, why don't I take these cheap little
Yeah.
lithium cells and like
Make it up in volume.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anything else? Any other electric vehicle stuff we could be talking about? Anything else that are on the?
I think you've covered a pretty wide.
I think we've done a pretty good swath. Oh my God, it's almost 5 o'clock. Okay, so all right, so we'll wrap up. But and then was there any? We were talking about I know what I want to talk about. I'm going to throw this in here as the list. Was the what do you call them? The Intel Arc. Intel Arc.
Oh boy, here we go.
Done. There you go. So got those. Add that to the list. And was there anything else we talked about?
No.
3080, 40. That was it. The 40
40, 90.
40 series
Mm-hmm.
rumors.
Yeah. That's to say, if
Who do
that
you
goes
like for
out-
rumors? Who's good for rumors?
Depends. Depends who has the rumors.
Tech Advisor, Digital Trends. Digital Trends
Like
is usually
Tom's
pretty
Hardware.
good. Oh, Tom's Hardware. Who is Tom? Do you have any idea? Like, no, seriously, I have no
He's
idea.
not-
Who's,
I don't. He's not there anymore.
Oh, he's not.
Just like how Anantech is not Anand
Seriously?
anymore. Anand has worked for Apple for like 6-7 years now.
Who hasn't?
Anand Shippy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anantech. You ever heard of that site?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But PC Perspective is still chugging away.
Yep.
Let's look them up too, because that's how I met Perspectives. If you want to do deep dives,
Everybody adds the S to the end. I don't know why.
I don't know, because it should be PC Perspectives.
No,
Because it's not just one perspective.
It's not one perspective; it's multiple
it was
perspectives.
their the people's
Ooh, 50
perspective.
The
of
PC perspective.
What do you want? PC's perspectives?
I don't know. That's a good point. So what are they talking about? They're talking about Ryzen processor with a Radeon graphics mini review. What does that mean?
It's like a CPU with integrated graphics.
Yeah, it's a
It's
IGPU.
like good integrated graphics.
Do you ever miss it? Do you ever miss like? Do you feel like I kind of like to go back to podcasting and do like that stuff?
Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah. Do you not to get? Could you not do like? Couldn't you talk like Intel into like sponsoring your your own?
You
No?
start getting conflicty and stuff.
Oh really?
But I still go and I do an occasional, thing.
Well, and also Alan's also on This Week in Tech as well every so often, right?
Every once in a while. But
which
I jump on Wendell's Level 1 Text. That's to talk
what's
about
that?
the Linux stuff.
Where's that?
Level 1 Text.
Level on text.
Level 1, number 1.
Level one
Text.
tech. Okay. I've never heard of this.
Level 1 Text.
I don't know this.
Yeah, they do videos and
It's
there's
a hot tub.
But it's like really deep dive, like Linux, server, workstation kind of stuff.
Oh, you know what I should bug you about?
Oh boy.
I've got Linux. I've got Ubuntu running on an old Mac, and
Okay.
I cannot figure out how to get it to read the USB
You have to mount.
camera,
Oh,
so that I can use it for. I want to use it for Octoprint.
you might just need to update it.
Update what?
Ubuntu.
No, I think it's the latest. It was like the latest one.
If you
Latest
haven't
one.
touched it in any period of weeks, it's not the latest one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, but it's using this literally using this camera, which has been around for
Yeah,
years.
that camera should work.
Yeah, it's been using it for years, but for some reason I cannot get. I guess I don't really understand exactly how it's addressed.
It might be a Mac USB port compatibility with the Linux thing.
Damn it!
But
It's gotta work.
But again, it's probably fixed on newer.
It's got to work. It's got to work.
Yeah, it's probably
I
fixed on newer
demand
ones.
that it works. And then the other person we were talking about that we were sort of joking about a bit was Linus Tech Tips. Because I think that LordChunky should have like a
Oh, what?
he should have like a show about about tech stuff. You've no desire to do that?
You just have to do
No.
his own show. Like,
It's not enough of your it's not
Do your own
enough
show.
of your life that you want to dedicate more of your life to that kind of stuff.
Well, no, I would, but like I don't know.
Like
I
what
just don't
format
think-
would it take?
I'd watch it.
I'd watch
Yeah.
it too.
I just don't think I could do it better than like these people.
I'd be on it. No, but you do it different because you're just a different person. Like it's a different personality
Different
approach. to it,
personality, yeah, but like, how would I do it? I just try to do like. As
You don't have to be
objectively
better to be good.
as- I guess.
But that is interesting. But it's not. But so, and that's the only reason why I'm thinking about not doing it is because of the. I don't mean to put you on the spot, by the way. I'm just asking.
I don't know.
It just feels like it's something that would be. I mean, whenever I have a PC question, I ask you. I go to you on this stuff because you know this stuff, or Alan for that matter. But no, but just like locally, if it's just a simple, quick question like about hey, what's the deal on this?
Yeah. No, I know.
And he puts together systems. Like he'll build systems that are like smart because they're not like the latest and greatest bells and whistles stuff, but they are. That's what you should do. People should just like say, I want you to build me a system that's really good, that's cheap for whatever, and then you just charge them like an extra $1,000.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's just a lot of risk with that.
In what way?
Let's say,
Oh,
I
if it
want
doesn't
this,
work, it breaks.
and then they don't go through at the end,
Oh,
or a
yeah.
part breaks, or like just a bunch of things.
This is also LordChunky's problem. Is unlike me, he thinks things through, and he goes, "Wait a second, how could this possibly not work?" As opposed to me, who goes like, "I've decided I'm going to run for president."
Yeah.
You mean my web store is negative? What?
Oh, did I tell you that story? So this is actually I haven't told anyone this. So idiot David thinks I want to make the merch that we have as cheap as possible for everyone. I will make sure that there's no more that profits. It's $2 per item, right? I make $2
But does
profit.
that not cover shipping?
Well, this is the funny part.
Yeah.
It said profit, but it didn't. What it meant was profit before you get deducted all of the processing fees. So I'm like, hey, I've sold a bunch of cups and sold a couple but caps, and I go to check my balance, and it's lower than it was when I started. And I was like, did they do a payout or something? And then I'm looking, I can't figure it out. And then I realized I'm paying everybody's processing fees, and it was slowly eating into my, because it was over, on some of them it was over the $2 that I had.
Yeah.
So I started trying to play with the prices. You gotta go pretty freaking high in price to get $2 profit out of a freaking hat. So I'm very, very sorry that they're as expensive as they are. I wish they could be cheaper. I'd love to figure out a way of doing it that doesn't involve.
You don't want to pay for everyone's hats?
No, I'd love to. Oh my God, I'd totally love to. But I still have to get a Tesla.
Yeah.
So there's that. You know what I mean?
Or you could just make the hats like triple the price to pay for the Tesla.
Oh, that's good.
I'm admiring the
$300
engineering,
hat?
the engineering of the
Isn't
wheels.
that brilliant?
The wheels on the table.
Isn't that absolutely brilliant?
Yes, yes.
This is the system that I've already broken that side.
Oh, you broke it.
Oh no, just actually, I think maybe LordChunky got rid of
Well,
the
it
last
was
one.
like already like.
Yeah, it's true.
really
And then he
broken.
broke it. I built basically wooden collars that allow the wheels to sit on them.
He made wooden inline skates.
I did. I made wooden inline. It's very true. There you go. The example.
There's the bracket.
So this is the bracket, and this, as it obviously is not doing right now, it does not hold the bottom of my adjustable desk to the wheels that I added.
Yep.
Jane came down one day, and I put everything on wheels. It was like an episode of The Simpsons. Suddenly, everything in the basement was on wheels.
That's true. Everything
Yeah.
is on
Pretty
wheels.
much.
It is.
Except for that.
Yeah.
I know. I've got to figure that one out next. That's next. I got to put that on.
Well,
But
that's
it's so
cool.
useful because, like, otherwise, you guys would be sitting on that desk right now because there's nowhere to, you can't. Where do you put stuff?
Yeah.
All right, I'm wrapping up. Gimpy G, tomorrow, are we doing? Does LordChunky understand the importance of RGB in modern personal PC?
I don't.
He doesn't.
I don't either.
He's-
My last build I just did, I shut it all off and everything.
You know why? Because
Exactly.
neither of you have souls.
When I
Um,
built my PC, I had the RGB
You built the
on, but
PC
now
and
I
didn't
have
have
none of it on.
any
Really?
colors
turn it
in
on.
it?
The RGB's on.
So you're running full stealth now.
Purist.
It's not full stealth. I just prefer it's not random lights flashing in my face.
Yep.
It's well, to be honest, you notice that? That also has random lights that flash in my face. And I turned them off because I was sick and tired. I felt like I was going to have like an epileptic fit or something. It kept, yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, David, my last comment. What was that? VCMD Propulsions. Let me guess. I posted a link to the Discord chat of my dad's company for
No, it's
EV.
Dad's company.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know.
Posted it in chat.
In Discord chat.
Is Alan Canadian?
No, eh?
He's a Navy guy.
Or-
We don't have a Navy,
That
do we?
doesn't. What?
We don't have much of a Navy, do we? Didn't we have like one submarine and it sank or something?
I don't think it sank.
I thought it did. Didn't we have a problem with our submarine?
That's a big problem.
LordChunky's given up. Just so everyone knows, LordChunky is officially.
He's already
He's
checked
like,
out.
I'm just gonna go to. Please, how do I get out of this? All right, I'm gonna say goodbye. Gimpy G, am I seeing you tomorrow? Is the question. Yes, I do want to stream. I'm totally ready. Okay, fantastic. All right, so we'll aim for another 2:30 tomorrow. This time with Gimpy G, and I guarantee you will learn nothing because we don't learn, we play. So I'll say until we geek again. Actually, I should say goodbye to everyone. So we say thank you so much to LordChunky. Where's LordChunky?
He's over that way.
I think the Chrome thing is happening.
Did I have to? What's it? Me and Chad only. There you go. There you go. You're back. You're back.
Oh,
You're
no,
back.
now he's out.
There you go. There you go. I feel like we should take a
Oh,
shot.
no,
We
now
should
he's
take a
back.
shot. Take a photograph.
Oh,
We need to
yeah.
take
Oh,
a.
yeah.
Come on, get in there. Get in there. Come on, we gotta do it like. There we go. There we go.
No.
All right. There we go. Got that. Where's my camera? There we
Oh.
go.
25 more minutes.
There you
while
go.
David
Here
figures
we
out
go.
the-
We're wrapping up. Wrapping up. Here we go.
That's the other
Right.
direction.
You're gonna like face it
What are you
towards
doing?
us.
You're taking a picture
You're
of
gonna
the.
take a picture of
Take a picture of the screen.
No.
How do you take a
Just
picture
screen
of
There's
grab.
a camera that points this way.
Oh, I could do that.
That's way
But
better.
I want to do one of those
You just-
like this because
Oh,
it's
my
that
goodness.
shows it's the technology in motion.
Okay.
And then we do the other way and then go like this.
No.
Oh,
nobody
shut
asked
up!
you.
Shut up! Whatever your name is, Alexa. Done. Okay, we've done it.
Take.
We've done a ton. You got to take a ton because I'm not that pretty. Plus, I'm gonna have new teeth. As of Thursday morning, 9 a.m. I go in and they start drilling. They start drilling out my teeth. I'm gonna have 4 new teeth here.
You're gonna put microprocessors in
I was
it?
actually supposed to go like 8 minutes ago.
Were you? All right, dude. Thank you so much.
Alright, thank you.
Everybody, thank you very much. LordChunky, the band, the mission. The what?
Are you trying to get an elbow bump?
I don't know. I was doing the fist thing.
I don't know, but
I don't-
his head's cut off, so it's hilarious.
It's kind of funny though. Isn't it like?
Body.
Don't you do like a bump thing?
A fist bump.
Isn't
You
that
had your elbow out.
my arms
You
don't
like
work
right
very
down the
well?
street
Did
as
I
well.
not mention my arm? I hurt my arm. I don't. I don't.
I'm
bend
gonna
very
show
well.
him the car.
All right.
Oh yeah, go show the car. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm leaving too. I'm gonna go see the car too. All right, everyone. Be safe, be kind, be brilliant. And until we again, I will say cheerio and huzzah and goodbye, Alan.
Bye.
There you go.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
We'll see you tomorrow for some Magic the Gathering with proper microphones. All right. Thanks everyone. That was an absolute pleasure, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
And now I gotta figure out how to turn it off. I gotta now figure out how to turn it off. So just please talk amongst yourselves while I figure this out.